Warning. The following presentation may contain excessive alcohol consumption, obscene language, controversial opinions, heavy metal, and actual wrestling chat. As such, it has been rated M for metal.
Welcome to the Mosh Pit. Welcome along to the latest edition of Mickey's Mosh Pit. As usual, I'm your host, the heavy metal hooligan, Mickey Vago. Now, firstly, thanks to everyone who listened to the last episode, the first heavy metal mixer, or thanks to everyone who made it right to the end, despite Archer's drunkenness. Hopefully his hangover has subsided by now. It did seem to rack up quite a few views and listens over on the video version on YouTube and the audio versions on the various platforms. So with the success of that, the lineup for the second heavy metal mixer is already being confirmed. We've got a recording date for it. It will be a few episodes before we actually release it. We'll try and keep them spaced out quite a bit, but it will be somewhat different to the first one, mainly due to the fact that Archer won't be on it. I know I did put up a poll on Twitter asking whether I should have Archer back every episode on the condition he gets as hammered as he did on the first mixer, but as much as I love Archer, he was a fucking nuisance. Let's be honest. So we will bring Archer back for future episodes, but not everyone. We'll keep them quite sporadic and small doses is best, I think. But yeah, so like I said, we'll have some more of these heavy metal mixers in the future. This one will be released a few episodes, as I said. As far as today's episode is concerned, with Zach Dynamite, we are two guys who are more used to knocking lumps at each other in the ring, but with this lockdown, well, I say lockdown, it's almost finished, but yeah, during this lockdown we've had no wrestling, so it was good to call a truce and have a bit of a chat with him. It turns out we do have quite a lot in common, so without any more messing about, we'll just jump straight into it. So here it is, the leader of the Foundation of the Future. It's Zach Dynamite.
Welcome along to the latest edition of Mickey's Mosh Pit. Joining me now, we've already had the Mad Dog Bradley Evans on. We've already had the inspirational Ryan Riley. So I thought it's only fair that we get on the self-appointed leader of the Foundation of the Future.
Not a self-appointed, legit leader, me.
So
That's why
Zach
you save
Dynamite.
the best for last.
Aye.
Although, save the best for last, you know, I'm the main event, you know? What?
Well, it's not so much that, it's to let them get a word in before you start.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I never get promo time anyway because of me, so yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, aye.
So, we're recording this on a Monday and it's a school night. I'm drinking. You're a bad influence, Mr. Vago. Bad influence.
I don't force people to drink. Like it's
yeah, but it'd be bad manners not to. You know, if you're sitting here down in beer and I'm drinking fucking tea, it's not good manners, you know.
Just make myself look like an auntie. That's it. If I'm doing is to bring attitude into my life, that's what I'm doing.
That's okay. I don't have very far to come, to be honest, mate. I'm bought with the bottle, mate. I mean, I'm from Tory after all, so yeah.
But like, as we record this, we're kind of trying to come out of lockdown.
Yes.
So like that's been the fucking over a year at this point.
Yeah. Like what? Like 14 months, 15 months?
14 months, give or take, something like that.
Yeah.
So obviously there's not been wrestling on or fucking just barely back at training. So
yep.
So fit have you been up to during lockdown? You've been keeping busy, keeping fit?
Yeah, so like the start of lockdown, I did like a lot of just playing video games, getting caught up and stuff. The that I hadn't had the time to do. And I've sort of burnt myself out on video games a little bit. Like I was playing it like when I wasn't dealing with the kids, I was playing video games like all day, every day, and it got to the point like I finished like 3 or 4 games on my list. I was like, you know what? I think I'm just a bit burnt out. And then I realized I was getting fat, so I was like, I should probably go to the gym or like work out from home or something because I'm fat. Like it was bad. Like I was sitting on the sofa one day, and I just finished playing a game, and my 2-year-old daughter comes over and she's like lifts up my shirt and starts like my belly like a drum and like laughing. I was like, yeah, I probably should go to the gym about that. So that was my inspiration for going back to the gym and working out from home. My 2-year-old daughter slapping my fat belly. So there you go.
I see. I've said before, like with lockdown happened, I was like, I'm gonna get in the best shape ever and getting wrestling with a t-shirt, and it lasted about 2 weeks, and I just fucked it. So like I've said at training day, I've just resigned to being just a fat bastard. Day. Like as long as I've got the cardio to carry it, I didn't care.
There you go.
Fine.
There you go. Well, it's like I see people like posted like all this. I'm gonna get the best shape of my life. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that because I'll just be a massive disappointment. Aim low. You know, it's like I'll be less fat and like maybe in a different shape apart from totally round. And you know, low expectations, higher goals. Yeah, it's fine. It works out. You know.
So I'll be back better than ever. It's like I'll be back.
Back. That's it.
Might be better. Might be worse. Who knows?
I'm resigning to. You know, I'll be back, and I might be moderately average. Middle of the road, Zach Dynamite. There we go.
You were in always like fairly decent shape to start with. Like you weren't.
Yeah, I was getting a bit.
You weren't exactly carrying weight.
No, I mean I was sort of I was big for me, if that makes sense. Like because I'm quite short and like you know I was getting big for me and I didn't like it. So before the lockdown even started, I was dieting and stuff and starting to trim down. You know, I was getting happy, and then obviously lockdown happened, and then like no shows and no training. It was very easy to just just pig out, and you know what I mean, like. During like the first few months of lockdown, I don't think anyone was thinking, or at least I wasn't. You know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym or I'm gonna work out from home and stay. I was like, we're in lockdown. I'm just gonna eat a donut. You know what I mean? Like,
Fits for tea, pizza. Okay.
Pretty much. You know what I mean? And obviously, like, when we first went lockdown, what was that? March. My son was only 6 months old, no, 5 months old, like my newest son, so he was still really little and like up half the night. So it was like, at the end of the night, it was like, we're gonna make like healthy soup. So I was like, fuck it, so, you know,
for breakfast.
That's it. Like you know, you'd get the Domino's at night, then for breakfast, you had the leftover. There you go, sorry. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know, but no, I'm much better now. Back dieting and working out. So it's all good.
Yeah.
So coming back. Totally rotund.
Like I said, we've been back at training for a few, like as we record this, that's been 3-4 weeks we've been back now.
3-4 weeks,
Like we've got a good crew on a Wednesday night. Like
definitely,
Two-thirds of the rejected and 2/3 of the foundation. So it's plus
I know, right?
Handful of trainees.
That's it. So you know, I've been whipping folk into shape. So
because you're in a Friday.
You're
actually coaching now,
Yeah, I help train guys on a Friday. So all the stuff we do on a Wednesday, I sort of take to Fridays and make them do it.
Yeah, I do like see the 2 days after like this past week.
Yeah.
Like see after that fucking car workout we did. I was like, I was walking like Archer on the Thursday. And then on Friday, like I got up and I just couldn't move. I was like, "Fuck me!" Like everything hurt.
It's funny because when my trainees came on the Friday, I literally walked over, grabbed the deck of cards, and everyone's face just dropped. And I was like, "Yep, we're all gonna die."
I see that's the thing though. On the Wednesday, it was my fucking idea.
It was your idea, yeah.
It was your idea. Card working, that'll do.
Card working.
Instantly fucked it.
Fucked it. No, I like the card workout. It's fun. But yeah, the training's on Friday. I got my first I hate you at training, so that was good.
That's what you're looking for.
So, we're on the right path. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I enjoy training young lads and lasses on a Friday. It's it's good fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, well, it's
you know,
so
and it's good for me as well. It gets me back to basics. You know what I mean? So,
aye.
what
It's,
does it say? It could teach us to learn twice or some crap like that. You know?
aye. Like it's someone you've always, you know, 'cause even like on the Wednesday crew, like before we were in lockdown, you Clinton, if you were on a Wednesday, it was always you had a lot of say in football or then because
it's
leading
something
the guys.
I think, like, it's like it's not anything I really thought about really. It's just sort of something that just sort of happened over time really. You know, it was like, you know, when I first started training and stuff, I was never like, oh, I'd like to train people, you know, one day. It just sort of happened organically over time, and I was like, and then they offered me like the coaching gig on a Friday, and I was like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah,
you know, so it's good. You know, it's me and Malice on a Friday, so it's good. You know what I mean?
Aye,
Enjoy
it's someone I couldn't coach. Like if there's something happening, and I see someone I can chip in with, I can chip in with someone, but I couldn't just sit there and say I go and do this and this and like actually coach boys. It's something I just haven't got there.
It's funny, like, so like for me, like obviously with starting coaching and stuff, it's like explaining like the mechanics of certain things in terms of wrestling, I sometimes struggle with because things have just sort of come somewhat more naturally to me. Like if someone comes up to me like, oh, how'd you do this? I'm like, I don't know, I just sort of do it. But thankfully Malice is really good for explaining like the mechanics of things. So like we make like a good like combo of like he explains like, you know, that how you do certain things, whereas I'm more the why, like why we do this, why it works there. That's my sort of like my strength. But it's good because it means I'm learning, and like each week I'll get a bit better. So you know, it's fun. You know, so I'm enjoying it a lot. You know, and I've got a good group of guys and gals on a Friday, so that helps as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, I'm eager to learn, so it's good.
Hopefully they'll stick it out. Like I said, but like since they've had the academy, they seem to have gotten groups of guys through that like stick it. Like even like yourselves, like there's only is it you and Archer left it a year?
Yeah, from my class originally it's just me and Archer,
and then
Dave. He came along a little bit later, but like for the class I started with, it's just me and Archer left.
Aye, it's like it was like that for a while because obviously it was Dave, fucking Garrick. He's the only left at his one. I'm the only one left out of my group.
That's it.
I think Bradley's the only one left out of his group now that Nathan North's gone down the road.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like
you find that as well. So like,
but since they've had the academy,
yeah, I think as well with the academy, I think it's like having our own place, like with the ring up all the time. It's more productive, if that makes sense. Like, you know, not that it wasn't before, but like when you've got your own facility that's yours, there all the time, it's easier to train and to coach and to get things done. I think anyway, you know, having that like home base. You know what I mean? Like when we started, it was like a scout hut and where was it? Like, and you know, it was fine, like we got good training and all, but it wasn't the same. Like we didn't have the ring up all the time or, you know, like a promo room or like, you know, any of these things that we have now. So training's a lot easier now because we've got much more available to us. You know what I mean? More tools and more equipment, and you know, we've got like weights and stuff and like gym equipment. I think that helps, you know.
Part of it is like you're saying with the ring being up. I think that's part of like the incentive is there. Like we us at the Scout Hut, the ring was never. We got the ring like kind of once every month or 2 months for like a ring day, and then you'd maybe get I don't know, like fucking half hour here and there, like before a show, and that was when you seen the ring. But because the ring's like they're not chucking guys in straight away. Like they're not getting it away. It's like you need to earn the right to get in there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But them seeing the ring there has to be some sort of incentive for them, I think.
Yeah, I think as well, it's like having the ring there all the time. It sounds naff, but it makes it somewhat more attainable, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's there. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh my God, I could do, like, the ring's there, you know, and it's like, I could do this. Like, with this, like you say, with us, it was like gym mats and, you know, and those like thin gym blue mats. That's all we had.
Jumping off the horse and playing tennis and top rope.
Yeah, man. But like bumping on those gym mats, oh, it sucked.
Yeah, I didn't miss that.
No,
didn't miss that.
Like at least the ring gives like a little bit of a spring. Those gym mats was like a thud. Like, oh my God, you know. But like, with my Friday class, I sort of like the first 2 weeks I don't have them in the ring really. Yeah, I'm just doing like, you know, floor stuff, cardio stuff, building up their engine, and like I say, it's that idea of like earning the ring, you know, because like when we were training, it was a luxury. We didn't get it all the time.
Yeah.
So you had to maximize it and really appreciate it being there, and that's something I try and hammer home with my trainees and stuff. Is it's appreciate the ring, you know, because we didn't get it all the time. So it's you know, for you guys, don't take it for granted. Like, it's great that you guys get it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but you need to appreciate the fact that you do. You know what I mean? And obviously, I think the training's better now as well, because, you know, we've all gotten older and we've all got more experience. So, you know,
yeah. And I think
it's getting better and better.
I think now they're taking their time with boys. So, like, the guys that are coming through, like you've seen, like, said, Dino and Ted and Ryan and like all these newer guys that are coming through, they're infinitely more prepared for it than we ever. Because again, as far as I was concerned, like, I was nowhere near ready to debut when I did. Like, I was months off of being ready. You could see, like, my first couple of matches, they were decent enough for the level I was at, but they're no. You could see I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I debuted after only 9 months, and I didn't really feel ready, to be honest. When I debuted, I was glad I got the opportunity, but I didn't feel ready. Like, when I go back and watch my old matches, I'm like, oh my god, that was awful. So bad.
Like, I did a proving grounds about 3 or 4 months into training, and then I was on shows within about 6 months, 7 months, give or take. And I think Garrick wasn't much after, like, he only had. He was 7 or 8 months, I think.
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's it.
It's like you're just thrown in the deep end. It's like, fuck me.
See, but then getting thrown in the deep end does have its advantages because you can swim faster, I think. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's no like safety net. It's like, on you go, you know, sink or swim, and it's okay. Better start swimming.
Like, I always had the benefit of having Archer there. Like, for my first year or so, like, if I wasn't in a tag match, I would either be accompanying Archer at his ring to the ring for his matches. It's his ring. Yeah. So, like, there was always someone there to fall back on. Like,
absolutely.
But yeah, like I said, because I think it's because they're taking their time. Like, they're not rushing guys through now. It's like,
that's it.
They need to be.
You know, it's crazy. Like, you know, guys get excited, like, they want to debut and stuff. But, like, in hindsight, if I could go back and speak to myself, I would have rather waited maybe 3 or 4 more months. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. At the time, you think, I'm ready for this.
Great, yeah.
And then a year or two later, you look back on it and think, I was nowhere near fucking ready.
I wasn't ready, yeah. That's it. Well, it's funny, like, I didn't really start feeling comfortable on shows, like, properly until maybe about 2 years into, like, actually being on shows.
Yeah.
You know, it took me a long time to get comfortable. Like, here's the thing, like, when I was wrestling and stuff, like, yeah, I could do, like, moves and stuff, but, like, it was the little things, like, you know, like the character work, the promos, and, like, it was this, like, crowd interaction, and that's why I felt like a lot of times when I was out there in those, like, early, I just felt naked, to be honest, and really, like, shy and nervous. And it's like, I would have, you know, it's those little things that I think I would have, you know, like, maybe practiced a little bit more before I debuted on a show. But it worked out okay in the end.
Yeah, you've done all right.
All right. It's you know, it's one of those things, like, I think, you know, I mean, obviously we're not in charge of, like, when guys get on shows or whatever, but, like, as like, with the trainer hat on, it's sort of one of those things that when I think about I think I want them to be ready for it, if that makes sense. Like, it's because it's, you know, like, my first match was like my first unofficial match. Like, we did, like, this tiny little, like an academy show thing. It was like we're doing, like, some it was like you know, like, when you're at school and you get, like, the activities week or something.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Like, I think it was Olmac or something. Like, they offered the activities week to learn to be pro wrestler for 3 days or whatever. So me and Archie went along, and I was just a trainee at this point. Like, I'd only been training like a year or so, or 9 months actually. And me and Archie went along to help, you know, Scott and stuff train these kids to do this activities week thing. And then at the end of the 3rd day, they went, "Oh, we're having, like, a little show, and you're going to be on it wrestling Damien." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." and Damien at the time was the undisputed champion, so he was, like, doing, like, a main event match, and I didn't even have gear, so I'm like, oh, okay then. So I was like, what am I gonna wear? So I ended up wearing, like, a pair of Damien's old, like, tights or something, and, like, a Wrestlezone, like, t-shirt and stuff. And here's me going into, like, wrestle the champion, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I didn't know my arse from a hole in the ground. I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. So you know, well, okay, I'm wrestling the champion, whatever. So we get in the ring, and I remember, like, you know, and I was just standing, and he was waiting to make his entrance. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing at all. Like, completely gone. So you know, I had the match with Damien. He was really good. He made me look a lot better than I was. Made me look passable.
Yeah.
you know, so that was a nerve-wracking thing. I was like, and then like I think it was like maybe a month later they went, yeah, so we're gonna debut at the Regal Rumble. I'm like, oh, awesome. And he's like, yeah, you're gonna be wrestling Crusher Crave, and I'm like, right. Now, funny story. At this point, like, so nowadays, me and Crusher, I consider Crusher Crave one of my best friends. Period. But at the time, he never spoke to me ever. So like Crusher did this thing when we were training back in the day, like unless you were around for like the long haul, he never even bothered to really get to know you. He'd say hello or whatever. So he never spoke to me. And so I was like, I don't think he likes me. And I was only like 17 at the time, maybe. I was like, oh, I don't think he likes me, like at all. Oh God. So they tell me I'm going to be wrestling Crusher Crave, and I'm like, oh, that's like I was really excited. I was like, this is great. And I'm like, I'm gonna die. And then like she never spoke to me. And I'm like, he's a big monster of a human being. I'm like, he's gonna eat me alive, and it's gonna be awful. And my mum's gonna be there and watch me die in the ring. And great. So we get to the show, and he pulls me aside. He's like, yeah, hi, I'm Crusher. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, oh my God, he actually spoke to me. This is good, right? And then we had the match. He beat the living hell out of me and fucking Fraser McLeod, like beat the snot out of us. But you know, it was great. He was a great first guy to get in there with. He was a really good player to me. But I was terrified because he never spoke to me, and I was like, he's gonna fucking eat me. Like, you know, and I was a lot thinner than I am now. Like I was tiny, like I was skinny, you know, like barely, you know, just like 17 or whatever. So yeah, I always thought that was really funny though, how it came like full circle. Like he never spoke to me. We had a match. And I was one of my best mates.
That's like there's a few guys who've just fucking killed Crusher's character on here, saying, he's a brilliant guy, he's whatever.
Yeah. Unless you piss him off, then he'll eat you. You know what I mean? I would never make him mad, even now, because like he's like one of my best mates. But I'd never make him mad. He's a very scary man when he's mad. We went drinking one time, and I saw him get mad, and I was like, oh God, someone's gonna die. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm like, oh shit. Oh no. He's a lovable bear, and then he turns out a grizzly if you piss him off.
Like I say, he's a good guy. He takes a while to warm up to people, I think.
Yeah,
like you're saying, he just needs to see you're going to be in it for.
That's it.
Yeah, get me there.
It's funny though, because like when I was training years ago, I would speak to everyone pretty much right off the bat, and now I'm sort of like that. Unless I think a guy's really going to stick out, I'm never really gonna like get to know someone properly, if that makes sense. I always wait to see if they're gonna hang around a bit before I waste my time.
Nah, I just big league update.
You know.
Trainee, show talent, I don't care. Big league.
Oh, big league Mickey Mayo.
Aye. No, I'll say that. It's just this fucking big league Chris Archer with his fucking ain't dresser now. That's what I've got it for.
He's a political piece of shit. Chris Archer. What I love is when Archer enters the room with his fucking bandana on, his wee cowboy boots, and his jeans. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's a
good
lad. Well, it's certainly a look. I thought it was a good look, but it's a look.
It's a look, aye.
Then again, I can't complain. My look's been brutal for years. I mean, I just go about fucking trackies with fucking chocolate stains on them because of the kids. The other day, I was going for a fucking interview, and my daughter comes up with fucking Tela-covered hands, just smears them, doing my dress trousers. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like every time without fail, she'll be eating it and she's in her hands, and then she comes over and she's like, Daddy. And I'm like, oh God, no, get off of me.
Aye, enjoy hang kids.
Oh yeah, she's like, we've got two boys and a girl, and I swear to God, she's like the muckiest out of them all. Like she's the one that plays with dirt and stuff, and I'm like, you should have been a lad. You really should have been a boy.
See,
the other two boys.
We've had this conversation at training before. It's like the youngest team, like mine's is the same. The youngest team's just feral.
Yeah,
it's like
that's just she's mental. The other day, right, she was climbing up the windowsill, and I'm like, Caitlin, you gotta get hurt. You gotta get hurt, Daddy. Right? She falls and bangs her head. Right? Starts greeting with tears in her eyes. What does she do? Starts climbing up again.
Aye.
Tears in her eyes. Still climbing. I'm like, you know what? You do you, bro. You do you. You know what I mean? She's stubborn as well. She's a stubborn sort of kid. Oh,
aye.
I love my children, but Jesus.
Aye, the hard work, like.
Very, very, very.
I think the thing with mine was like the first team was so well behaved and whatever, and like you could like she didn't cry or whatever, and like you could stick her down with a book and come back half an hour later, she'd still be there with that same fucking book. Naham, you'd be up in the fucking curtains and it's like that.
There's nothing worse than when your first kid's really well behaved and like good as gold, and you're like, oh, we can have another one. It won't, and then you have another one. It's like this is awful. Like my daughter never slept at all. Like when she was a baby, she was up all the time, and I was like, oh my god. Then another one. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I did the right with that. Like mine's were, both of them were fairly like. Although he was up slightly earlier, like they were still slept mostly through the night. Kind of, there was too much bother with them through the night. But so I can't complain with that. But it's just like through the day, it's just non-fucking stop.
Yeah, that's it. Like, see, I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with them waking up early because I'm an early bird. Like, I always get up like 5. Like, even if the kid did it, I just get up at 5.
Aye.
Years of working like in restaurants and stuff, it was like 6 o'clock starts and stuff, and you know, hotels and things. So like getting up early doesn't bother me. It's when they're like up all night and then they go to bed at like 6. I'm like, what are you doing? I've just got to bed. Or the worst is like my youngest son. He's blessed him. He's like 9 months old now. But so he'll moan because he's tired, but then he'll never go to sleep. Aye. And I'm like, mate, I can't help you. And then he'll doze off. And then he stirs, and I'm like, oh, just go to bed. And I'm like, you did. He's like, I'm tired. Yeah, I know you're tired. Go to sleep in.
Go and stop being a dick. Just go to sleep.
That's it. You know what I mean? It's like, just go. Play a game. Come on, play a game. Go on. Oh.
That's the thing. Like, Wrestlezone, they're set for the next generation of fucking...
I've set up the foundation of the future last generation.
As you've got a fucking squad, I've got a couple. Fucking Crusher's got a squad.
That's it, you know, so it's sorted. They put any of my kids over, though.
Nah, my fuck.
Nah, oh no. No. Doesn't work for me, brother. I was playing Fortnite, like, so, right. So I've got this dad pride thing. I just hate losing to my son. Like, my eldest one just can't handle it. We're playing Fortnite the other day, and he kept killing me. We're doing, like, creative or something. He just kept killing me, and I was raging. And he's at that age now, you know, when he beats me, and he's like, I beat you, Dad.
Right, just like, smug as fuck.
I just smug wee prick. I'm like, fuck you. You know what I mean? But yeah, right, he's a smug wee prick when he beats me. But see, when he loses, that's it. He fucking greets. He's like, come on, let's do it fair. I'm like, fuck you.
See, my kids are still young enough. I can just hump them at hand. I get fucked. Apart from fucking Mario, for some reason, the wee man, like, he'll just beat Addy, man. He's not even looking at the screen. He's just fucking getting his fucking crawling. And he, like, somehow he comes back. It's like, how the fuck are you doing that?
That's it, isn't it? It's just, it's like, my kid will headshot when we're playing Fortnite for like a mile away, and I'm like, that's bullshit. So, like, I'll snipe him, right? I'll snipe him, and it does like half his health. He snipes me, and all my health's gone. I'm a shield. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit.
Right, bullshit.
And then you do the thing where you're like, well, this controller's broken. That's what it is. You broke the blade.
I've got the dodgy controller.
That's it.
This button doesn't work right. It's just a dodgy. That's nothing wrong with it.
It's like, at that point, it's like, we're just being unreasonable, but fuck it. No.
Just scraping for excuses.
The worst is at training, it's when it's me, you, and Caden, and we'll all get that fucking dad pride going. It's like old
man pride.
For 2 minutes. It's like you ran ropes for 2 minutes. I'll run it for 2 minutes 30. Fuck you. And the last one's like, I'll run it for 2:45.
It was like on a Wednesday we used to corner angles and he used to come in and do shit. And me and Gary would just look at you like, that's cunt. Nah. End it.
What annoys me is like when I watch Connor wrestle, he does a lot of the stuff that I used to do that I can't do anymore because I'm old and broken. And it pisses me off. Like, this fucking guy is fucking...
That's why I do some of the shit I do, just to piss Archer off.
I'm Russo. Picture perfect. So taking all these got. It's like, well, I get depressed because like whenever I watch my old matches and I was like, I used to be young and athletic and now I'm just broken as all fuck. Like it's sickening.
See, I just punch people. That's all I've ever done. I'll bust a big move now and again, but most of the time I'm just punching people.
I've just resorted to stomps and forearms. That's all I got. It's like I'll do like a nice rana, then I tilt the world head scissors and I start like BBT, right, and then I'll forearm you in the face, right? And then you go down, and then I'll beat you. What's your finish? I pin them and win.
Yeah, that's my kind of wrestling.
That's it, absolutely.
Yeah, like like you say, you like speaking about Archer, like you come through with Archer, like you guys are.
Yep.
I think you're the same age, are you?
Yeah, roughly. I think I've got a year on him. I think.
Aye.
But yeah, roughly the same age.
Like you guys.
He started maybe 2 months before I did, maybe a month before I did, something like that.
When he was still fat Archer.
Yeah, well, so funny story. Chris Archer used to be like a lump, right? And I love you, Archer. I mean, the nicest way. And he trimmed down a hell of a lot for pro wrestling. Like it's crazy how much weight he lost for wrestling. It's nuts. But yeah, when me and Archer first started, like, so I gravitated towards Archer because we were the two youngest guys when I first started. Like everyone was like in their 30s, so like, and obviously like it was quite intimidating for me and Archer because we were like what, maybe 16, 17 at the time. So obviously like if guys are in their 30s, you're like, oh, okay, you first go to training and everyone's nice to you and stuff, but you don't have the same sort of things in common because you you won't really.
There's like over a 10-year fucking difference there.
That's it, and the thing is as well, like it's 16, 17. I mean, you're still quite immature and you don't really know fuck all anyway. You know what I mean? So me and Archer sort of gravitated towards each other. So like I'm still close mates with Archer now. You know what I mean? Like I fucking love Archer. Like I rib him and stuff, but I love him to death.
Everyone loves Archer.
Yeah, and it's like and like so we gravitated towards each other, and it was cool because like so me and Archer always, it was never the competitive thing, but there was always that sort of like mindset of like, because we were the same age and started at the same time, we never really wanted one guy to like sort of get ahead of the other, if that makes sense.
You just keep it up.
Yeah, that's it. And it was like it was cool because like we both debuted on shows about the same time, and it's like me and Archer have been very lucky. Like we've done a lot of this, like we've done a lot of similar things. You know what I mean? 2 seconds.
Yeah, the video's got out.
There we go. Yeah, sorry, it's not pulling up this stuff. But yeah, me and Archer have done like we've sort of like mirrored each other. We've sort of like ascended at the same time. It's pretty cool. Remember, like me and Archer, like because when me and Archer started, because we were young and stuff, we felt like we had to prove ourselves, more than we probably needed to.
Yeah.
So we used to do sessions at the Blair Gowdy. There we go. Easy for me to say. And it was like freezing, and it was like it was a fair drive away. So, and we used to have like training on like a Sunday at this time as well. So a Sunday morning we'd like leave for Blair Gowdy at like 8 in the morning, travel down in like this tiny car, like maybe like 5 of us. So it was cramped and stuff. Train like 5 or 6 hours at Blair Gowdy, and then we'd travel back up the road. And where everyone else would go off and just go home, me and Archer was like, oh, we'll do the Sunday class as well.
Yeah.
I remember Scott was like, you don't have to do that, because we'd just been wrestling matches at Blair Gowdy, then we're like seized up and cooled off in a car, so we're all sore and stuff. I'm like, nah, we'll fucking do it. And I remember, and it was funny because that's when we got told we're getting put on shows. We'd finished doing this like mammoth session at Blair Gowdy, and then we travelled up, and then we were doing the Sunday session, and we were doing like training matches and stuff, and like we're taking like cross bodies up the gym mats, and like like going like full pelt, and like we were hurt and we're beat up, and Scott pulled aside, and that's when him and Bill was like, you're gonna get on shows, and it was cool because it was like we felt like we'd really earned it because we were doing like we were doing all the training sessions, all the Blair Gowdy stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I think, but what I think helped is because we were at the same age and we were sort of we've always sort of pushed each other. I think that's what really helped, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because we were so focused on getting on shows and doing well, it just helped having another young guy with that sort of same mindset. Do you know what I mean?
I Bradley said the same thing with him and Nathan North. Like they come through together, and it was always like there's a competition there, but it's that you're keeping up, and you've got somebody there at the same level as you are.
Well, it's great because I see that a lot with our training class, like, especially on Wednesday night. Every guy in that group on a Wednesday night wants to be the best they can be. So everyone pushes each other, and it's great because when you get that, that's when all the good shit starts to happen, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
That's when guys really start getting to that next level because they've got guys pushing, you know what I mean? And like my view on wrestling is everyone should be pushing each other anyway. If I can help someone else out, great. Because then if I help them out, it helps me out, and everybody wins. That's always been my viewpoint on wrestling.
If somebody else is getting better, it's got to make you look better. That's it. If you're wrestling.
Yeah, I've never believed in like elevating yourself and holding anyone else down. I've never believed in that. I believe it's like everyone rises at the same time, and everyone gets better if everyone helps each other out. You know, you should always help guys get to that next level. Like if you're slightly above someone else, you should reach down and help them get to your level, and then hopefully someone better than you reach. You know what I mean? And that's the way I view it.
Aye.
You know, and that's why I'm glad our Wednesday group's a lot like that. It's always a lot of fun to train with you guys and stuff. You know, because it's a very positive atmosphere, and it's a good vibe, and just good work gets done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like the annoying thing just now is just waiting for the all clear to get contact training on and go again, because that's
it.
Until we get back to that properly, there's really a whole lot we can get done. Like you can do this, you can get the cardio stuff done, and you can do your rolls and bumps and all, but at the end of the day, there's no very much you can do. Apart from the idea I came up with the other day was wrestling each other 4 feet apart.
Hey, it wasn't too bad. I mean, me and Bradley had a match 4 feet apart. It was okay.
Yeah, it's like joking. You stand in the ring and you stand in the match and wrestle each other, like just as a joke, and then you try that. And like, it works to some degree.
yeah. It's for me as well. Like, it's just about getting that timing down. Like, you can't like. So like, you know, you can do all your rope running and treadmill and, you know, all this other shit. But like, until you're in the ring wrestling, you can't really get that proper feel for it. You know, like timing, positioning, in-ring cardio, like you can, all that stuff that'll be the real test. You can
try and wrestle the imaginary man, but at the end of the day, you're just making up in your head. So it's not necessarily the pace that somebody else has got to go. And if you're imagining it, you always seem to go that step faster just to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, it's because there's that like sort of like lingering time in there, because there's no one else fucking there.
Aye.
You know, you'd feel like a plum if you're, you know, like lying on the mat for like fucking 15 seconds. Say like you take a move and you normally lie there for 15 seconds. There's the other guy there, he can post the crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
You're lying there and the invisible man's just fucking clotheslines you. You feel like a plum if you're lying there for 15 seconds. Like, fuck this. Fuck him.
Aye, we'll just go to the next spot.
Fuck you, I've been fighting this for But no, like it's one of those things. Like, I'm looking forward to getting contact back. So that's when as wrestlers it'll be a lot easier to try and get our timing down, and you know, because it's weird. Like the other day I was in the kitchen and I was like, how the fuck do I do a headlock? And I'm like walking through the motion, like, do I even know how to wrestle anymore? You know what I mean? You know,
it's until you get back in there with somebody and do it, it's like it's got to be hard to figure it back out again.
Oh God, yeah, that's it, is it? It's like you know, it's like in my head the other day, I was speaking to my girlfriend, I'm like, I think I can still wrestle, but I'm not 100% sure. like you know, like I know the mechanics of it, but like I don't know. You know what I mean?
The thing it's fearing me is like that first few punches. I say they're just gonna be fucking, just gonna be bombs. It's like
just like fucking haymaker.
Just to get your range back. It's like nah, fucking clatter.
Like
it's either get a mile away or breaking through the jaws.
Well, it's like when we for forearms, I'm like, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna throw my first forearm and just break some cunt's jaw or something. Or like elbow, or like I'll throw the forearm and just elbow them in the fucking eye or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's gotta be awful.
Aye, it's got like that first session when we contact, it should be fucking chaos.
Oh, it's like, and the thing is as well, like in my head, it's like we'll want to just do the things that like we always do.
Aye.
But then the timing will be shit, and you know we'll like fan or heat or something, or like something will go wrong. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh God, it's PTS, it's awful. Like I'm dreading it. Like I had a dream, like this was during the first lockdown. And I had a dream, and in the dream I couldn't wrestle. Like I went for like an international, and I just fucked it at every point. And I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, I was like, oh, it was just a dream. And I was like, but maybe it won't be, because maybe I will fuck it.
It's like these promotions down the road that are fucking getting the booking shows now, and you think,
yeah,
how the fuck are you, like, nobody can train for this. So it's safe to be unsafe as fuck. Like, obviously, it's like the lockdown's been fucking pushed back fucking now, so a lot of them are coming saying, I want to push it back, but it's like, at the end of the day, like, until there's contact training back, you shouldn't be booking a fucking date for a show.
I agree with that. Like, I can see why promoters are wanting to do shows. I get it, because of what we make money. I get it.
I want to. A lot of it is I want to be first. That's the fucking thing.
Yeah, but for me, as a performer, as a wrestler, I don't want to wrestle on a show until I've had a chance to get contact training undergo and I get my time. Like, the last thing I want to do is appear on a show and like not be as good as I should be, or like not be at the level I want to perform at because we've rushed it. You know what I mean? It's like when we get back to shows, I don't want to like put out like a half-ass version of myself. It's like, I want to be the best I can be.
It's not even half-assed. Like, it's just unsafe.
It's a bit rusty and unsafe. It's like, I want to make sure that when I'm back on shows, it's 100% ready to go, and like timing's there, you know, positioning's there, like it's ready. You know what I mean? It goes back to almost like when you debut before you're ready, and sometimes it's like it's not as good as it should have been.
It's a bit ropey and
yeah, it's like, you know, and obviously like the show's not happening for like well by the time shows get back, like nearly 2 years. You don't really want your first impression to be rusty and sloppy. You know what I mean? You want to put the best first impression back as possible, in my opinion. Anyway.
Folk have waited like a year and a half to see wrestling again, and you can just Matt, I can't know it.
That's it. Yeah, it's it. You don't want that. You know what I mean? So like, I'm in the camp of like, I wanna when my first show is back, I want to make sure I'm ready and ready to go and like perform at the level that I left at. You know what I mean?
That's a good thing about Wrestlezone. Like, as far as I know, they've got dates booked, but they're not confirmed dates, and they've released them to say, we're doing a show this date, because there's no guarantee they'll be ready to fucking do them.
And that's it. You know what I mean? It's best to just, you know, and the thing is as well, like having young kids at home as well, I need to be careful, you know, and I'm not going to put them in any sort of trouble or danger, you know, because that's just not fair, and you know, it's not cool. So it's like, you know, and like, so like the wrestler in me wants time to make sure that I'm ready to go, but the father as well, I'm like, I want to make sure that everything's as safe as it can be for my kids and stuff. You know what I mean? And like, you know, and making sure that I've got both my jobs done as well. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
safe as possible. You know what I mean?
Everybody's shooty by the time. Yeah, certainly by the time Wrestlezone start fucking running shows again.
Well, I mean, I've got my first job coming up, and then I'll get my second. I've got my first job this month. And I'm hoping to get my second job. What was it, like 2 months? 2 months after. So yeah,
6 to 8 weeks usually, I think. But yeah,
so it's like you know, like as well, like having a family and stuff. It's like I want to be as safe as possible. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna put them in unnecessary danger. Yeah. You know, because that's just silly. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day,
as much as I love wrestling, it's not everything. You know what I mean? Like my family will always come first, and my kids will come first. So.
It's not worth the risk at the end of the day.
No, not at all. Especially like obviously like my youngest son's only like 9 months, so it's like, you know, I'm not willing to play any risks. Like
especially at the level we're at, it's like
exactly. That's it, man.
It's not worth it.
No, definitely not. You know what I mean? Family will always come first.
So it should. Like,
oh yeah, definitely. It's like, you know, if you're gonna have a family and stuff, it needs to come first. You know what I mean? Like, I love wrestling. Don't get me wrong. Like as a person, like just like, so if you take everything out of the, like everything else out of the equation, for me, like wrestling is like the most important thing. Like personally, like if it was just, but then like, you know, but then when you throw family in the mix, well, family's always going to be first. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if I was a single guy with no kids, then wrestling, yes, would be my absolute everything, because I love it. It's my passion in life. But my kids will always come first, you know, and they'll always be number one, and you know, that's just the way it goes.
That's why I said, like, if I'd started like 10 years before I did kids and a wife and a mortgage and I would have been a lot more serious about it than I am just now. Like, I'm not looking for outside bookings, outside Wrestlezone. If somebody comes looking, I'll consider it, but I'm not chasing bookings, and I'm just happy doing Wrestlezone every other weekend.
Well, see, for me, it's a little different. Like, I've got 3 kids now. I'm 28, so for me, I'm now looking to get other bookings. Like once the world's, you know, like once the world's back to more normal, it's like I want to get my name out there and I want to try and go full time, and like that's what I want to do. Like I want to pursue wrestling. But it's a case of like, you know, that's all, you know, that's gonna be a long-term process. You know what I mean? My kids are all an age. By the time shows get back, like my youngest will be like a year and a half or whatever, and my middle one will be like 3. So it's a case of like, you know, like, because when I started wrestling, I had a kid. Like I had my son when I started wrestling, and then, you know, and then we had like a long pause, and then we had our daughter in like 2019, I think it was. Terrible, 2019, I think it was. So it's
just not let the wife listen to this.
Yeah, I know she'd kill me. I am terrible with dates though. Like I've got a terrible memory for dates. and such things. I'm like the other day, I was like, how old am I? Am I 28? When was I born? I had to like count out how old I was. It was terrible.
See, I'm alright. I can figure it by the amount of WrestleManias there's been.
Smart. But like for me, it was like just like, you know, for me now, it's like once the world's a bit more normal, yeah, that's what now I'm going to pursue wrestling because I've done the daddy thing, and you know, so you know, it's weird for me. Like I'm 28, I've got like 10 years experience on shows, so like I like it's weird for me right now. I sort of consider myself to be like sort of the best of both worlds. I'm young but experienced, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I'm not old, but I'm not new to wrestling, so I'm sort of like that happy like in between bit, really. You know what I mean? So, and like as well, like I mean, I want to pursue it because like obviously my kids are getting older and stuff. And the last thing I want to do is like be one of those dads is like, you can be anything you want to be, son, and then like, yeah, but you never tried. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you know, it's like leading by example and stuff. Especially my oldest son, like he wants to be a game designer, and most folks like that's impossible, or it's, you know, it's far fetched. I'm like, cool, go for it. Make millions and then take care of your old dad. You know what I mean? And then I'll retire at 40.
I wish. Fuck, I've got 3 years.
I know, right? Oh fuck. It's depressing. So like the retirement age for like 70 or something. I'm like, oh fuck this. Oh. It's rough. Like the other, I was like, you know, like when I was at my last job and stuff, I'd been working there like 10 years straight. And then they were like, yep, so just another 50 years till you can retire. I'm like, oh, fuck this. I'm like, no.
Until up the retirement age, by another fucking 20 years by the time you get there, I was like,
fuck, I know. It's like, it'll get to the point, it's like you retire when you die.
At this point, you'll just be like Terry Funk, just completely fucked, still being it.
Yeah, man. Well, it's all right. Me and Archer will still be wrestling at fucking the shows more.
See that Archer's at Terry Funk's level now. The space knees.
It's like when you watch you on the mat, and you see Terry Funk out of the bed. That's
Archer.
Like the only thing missing from that scene, right? When Terry Funk gets out of the bed, when Archer does it, there'd be like a water bottle for his hair. So he'd get out the bed, put both knees down, and like, and then be ready to go.
That fucking water ball.
Right, so at a show, Chris Archer will start wetting his hair about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The show's not till like 7. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Doors at 7, first match at 30:30. He's out at 2 o'clock.
Oh, bless him. He's a good man. Love you, Archer.
And he does it in the most ridiculous. I was one match we had with Dave P and Garrick, and I want to say it was. Can't be far it was, but I think we were champs at the time.
Yeah.
And we were in the ring, and they were going to storm the ring to fucking come brawl with us. And Archer had wet his hair right at the fucking curtain. So they came out and just went to run, and both of them just slipped.
Oh, Jesus.
Like,
if that was me, I would have been livid. It's funny, though, right? It's funny. Apologies, my phone's got that stupid like gimmick thing that it does with the black screen, so I need to keep touching the screen. It's funny though, backstage at shows, right? Archer, like, so I think we do Malmedy, right? It's the one show where we've got like an actual like wet room, like where you can, you know. So you'd think, okay, so Archer's gonna wet his hair in the wet room. Ace, no, he doesn't. He ignores the wet room and just does it out the freaking corridor. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you have an actual room designed for wetting your hair, and you're not gonna use it. Awesome.
I love Archer at match, but fuck me, he's hard work sometimes.
Oh, bless. He's a good loon.
He is. Yeah. Like speaking about Archer, like he was like we were thrown against a tag team, but that was a lot of what was to do with like the guys that was in like I just like you were saying about Sunday night training. That was obviously that's where the trainees start, and that was where I was until I was on shows. Like they offered me, you can come in on Wednesdays now, but I can't remember what it was. There was some reason I couldn't come in on Wednesday, so it was still Sundays. But Archer was in; he was like in Wednesday, Sunday.
Yeah.
And then you were the same. You were in May Sundays.
Yeah.
But then, I think by the time I'd made shows, you Parked it in for a couple
I
of
was
years.
gone.
Aye.
Yeah, I was gone with injuries and stuff at that point. Yeah. So yeah, like, so I was there, like, when you first started, I was there.
Yeah.
And then just as you made shows, I was gone. So like, I missed you starting on shows. But it was funny because I was always like, I kept an eye on shows, obviously, when I was out injured and stuff.
Aye.
And I always remember, like, and I was like, I could do something big, bro. I could do something. You know, like, we've only had like one match, I think, like one like actual singles match.
One singles,
like,
but we had one
tags, but we've only had one singles.
Peterhead or Fraserburgh? It was one of the two. I want to say it's Fraserburgh.
I want to say Fraserburgh. Is that the venue with the stupid friggin' staircase? It's a fucking nightmare to get there.
Aye, it was Fraserburgh.
Okay, yeah, it's Fraserburgh. I had fun in that one. That was a good match, I thought. You know what I mean? And you know, I was hoping we could get to do more, but then obviously the world ended.
Aye.
But it was a case of like, when I was gone, I was like, I think I could do something with Vega. That'd be fun. You know what I mean? Because obviously, like, you know, whenever you're like off, injured or whatever, you keep an eye on things, and there's always like names you're like, yeah, I would do something with this guy and do something with that guy, and you know. So for me, it was like you, Caden, Dave. I always wanted to work with Dave P, Mr. P.
Aye.
I got to do that with a good run with her. So it was like, you know, I like to work with younger talent. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
younger talent, despite the fact they've got 10 years on you, but aye.
Younger talent in terms of
experience.
Shows, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I enjoy that. I always have. You know, I think it's fun because, you know, it's like, it's always great working folk better than you.
Aye.
And like, you know, when you get to work experience, it's great because it's a great learning experience and stuff. Like, but it's like one of those like double-edged sort of like sword sort of things. Like, it's great to get to work guys more experienced than you, because they can, like, you know, they teach you and they lead the match and stuff and whatever have you. But it's great to work with younger talent, because then you're in charge of leading matches, and it's a different dynamic, and I've always enjoyed that aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like, I always like working with guys that maybe don't have the experience, so it's cool to be the one, like, in there, like, you know, controlling things and showing. I just enjoyed that aspect of it. I want to work Connor Ingalls. I think we could. I'd really like to work him at some point. Just because it reminds me a lot of me in a weird way. Just like, and that's not me being like, you know, like me. It's just like, he's a smaller guy, young guy starting. Like, I think he's only what, like 18? 18 is he?
He's 18 or 19.
Connor. He's a young guy anyway. So for me, it's just sort of one of those deals where I'm like, he's a young guy. So I'd like to work with him, because it's like, I know what it's like to be in his position.
Aye. The only thing with Connor is you have to come up with a match for him. Like, because he just forgets everything he does. Aye, what have you got, Connor? Like, I've only ever trained matches with training or whatever. Yeah. It's like, all right, fit you for your shine. Yeah. It's like, fuck, go on, Connor.
See, the thing with Connor is, like, there's so much potential there. So, like, you can just
he's good.
Like, matches he had with Crusher Craig is like awesome matches. Like, you can, and for me, I think it's like, it's one of those things, like, being like older than him and more experienced. It's like, all right, I can see the potential there, and I can see all the ingredients are there. Really, like, it's how do we pull that out of him? Like, you know what I mean? And that's, for me, is the exciting part. It's like, okay, how do we get his brain moving? How do we, you know what I mean? Like, for me, anyway, that's so.
He just needs the right guys to work with him to get.
Yeah.
To get his mind.
That's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And also, he's more athletic than me, so I want him.
He's more athletic than fucking Mace Boys in the roster. That's a fucking problem.
I know, right? It's like he's doing stuff, and I'm like, I used to be able to do that. And he's like, can you do it now? I'm like, absolutely not.
Aye. There was one training session we were in, and like, for just to our brand, I was like, 450, I could hit one of them. And I got up to the top, and I was like, nah, no danger. Stay happening. I'll break my fucking neck.
That's it.
And so it's like, Connor, you'll be able to do that. So he was trying it, and he was doing like a 450 and almost landed on his feet.
Oh, like, what? That is...
Like, he was over rotating it, and just, I was like, but for whatever reason, he could, like, when he tried to land on his feet, he couldn't.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
he was there about 20 minutes. He was coming off and doing this, and he tried to do it, and he would just land somewhere in between. I was like, see if you could land that. That'd be awesome. Aye, it would be fucking tremendous. And he just couldn't, like, for whatever reason, he just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm one of these people. I come up with an idea. I'm like, I could totally do that. And then like seconds before we do it, I'm like, oh fuck it. Like we're doing the ladder match at Anarchy, and I saw this thing I wanted to do. It was like the ladder was propped up against the apron, and I was gonna have Aspen Faith like throw me over the ropes, and I was gonna take this like front face first off the ladder. I'd seen it, and I was like, I could do that, never, right? So we're doing the match and whatever, and setting it up. And as I was running to hit the ropes to get chucked, I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I don't even know if I can do this. And I was like, oh, fuck it. So it's like at that point, I'm running Aspen Faith, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Oh god. And then and then we nailed it. And like I came down, it worked well, but it's always those like it's like sometimes I get a bit carried away, and I'm like, I can totally do this. And then like literally seconds before, I'm like, oh fuck it.
It's like the moonsault I hit at Anarchy. Like I could do a moonsault because I'd done them in training, but I hadn't done them for like, I don't know, maybe a year. Like I'd done them. Like I was one training session I was in, and I was only one training. I was me and I think it was maybe Aspen that was in.
Yeah.
She'd be one day, so I was like, we just like, I don't want to say fuck that, but we didn't do it.
Experiment.
I said, well, yeah, a moonsault, so we fucking tried that. Yeah. Like I was nailing him, no bother. And then like we come up to Anarchy, and I was like, we'll do this moonsault. We can do that because I come up with this spot. I'll do this, whatever. Yeah. And so I will try it a few because and at this point I never hit it on anybody. Like I hadn't hit it on somebody lying down or anybody catching me. I just hit it like just a moonsault off the buckles on the mat. And I was like, well, do this. So I'd be like, but I don't know, maybe 3-4 months out of Anarchy, and like Bradley was in on Wednesdays at this point. So I hit moonsault in the night. Nah, we'll do it next week. I just kept pitting it off and off and off, and I never did it. So like got to Anarchy, was like, and I climbed the bucket. I was like, well, we're here now. Here we go.
It's funny you should say that. That 4-way ladder we did at Anarchy, right? I was adamant I was going to do the swanton off the ladder. I was like, I'm going to do it. So like, and I've done swantons before. It's fine, right? Yeah. So we were on the build to the match, right? We had like the ladders outside the ring, so we couldn't get into the ring because with the roof and stuff. So we're trying it out, and I was like, I climbed the ladder, and I was sitting on top of the ladder. I'm like, this is fine. I could totally fucking do this. Well, so like we're doing the match and whatever, and obviously we've been wrestling, so we're a bit more tired and whatever. So I'm climbing the ladder, and I get to the top. Now, obviously, because the ring in the middle of the ring, there's a spring. So they're all like getting up to catch me or whatever, and the ladder starts wobbling, and I'm like, oh fuck. I've never, for whatever reason, I'd never thought about with it being in the ring having that natural like bounce and swing. So I was like, oh fuck. Right? So I was like, oh, and instantly regretted it because I'm like, oh shit. So, but then my mate was in the crowd, and he just shouts, "Swanton!" And I'm like, oh well, fuck. And I'm on top of this ladder, and I'm too far away from the belt to like make a grab. So I'm like, well, I have to do something. So I was gonna go from like the tippy top, and then I was like very gingerly like put my leg on like the second top rung, and I'm like, this will do. And I was like, oh, and just like go. Well, so right, but it felt fine, right? But what I didn't realize, and it's only when I watched it back, I was like this close away from just smacking the fucking ring post, because like I did the swanton, hit them, but obviously because they were catching me, like I turned again, and I was like this away from just like whacking the fucking ring post. So it was a great moment, and it worked out really well. But if it had been a couple of inches the other way, I would have just like fucking clocked the ring post and fell out the ring. Like they would have caught me, and it would have been great, and then I would have just like thunk out the ring, and I was like, that would have been a very, very different sort of moment. And it's just one of those things. I'm just like, oh fuck it, fuck it.
Got away with it, but
it's like I got away with it, but like just.
Like you say, it's one of these things that like you think I can do that. So there's a couple of times I've committed to like that. I gotta try this, and I look at that and I'm like, nah. Like I always try and come up with I don't want to say a big spot. It's like a big spot for me because like I said, normally I'm just punching and kicking guys. So like a dive is a big spot for me. So I did dive. I've done like table spots. I've done the moonsault. Yeah. So there was the Anarchy got cancelled. I was like, I'm gonna try a line salt. And I looked at it and I was running at the ropes. I was like, nah, it's not for me.
It's funny. So like when I first started training, like I first started on show, so it was like 2011, right? So I debuted in like June. So we'd been running like our bigger times. So like I was a little baby face, had no character. I was wearing my wee white leathers, and I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. So I was like, okay, I've pretty popular with Aberdeen crowd. This is great. And then we did like a show, and I want to say Bucky, right?
Aye.
So we're like, but like nobody there. So I was like, okay. I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do like a really cool. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna spring off the second, do a big dazzling crossbody. It'll be awesome. The crowd will eat it up, right? And this is like I'd only been like training for like a year at this point, on shows for like 3 months. So we get to the show, and I'm wrestling Thunder that night, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this like this springboard thing. You'll catch me. It'll be awesome. And he's like, have you practiced it? And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay then. So I do my entrance, right? And it's the first time we've run like a smaller show since I've been on like shows.
Aye.
And I got no reaction whatsoever. And obviously I was like, oh, and obviously I didn't know what baby face was. So I was just going along with like, like clapping and stuff, and like an Aberdeen crowd, they sort of just give you it anyway.
Aye.
So I come out and I'm like, oh God. So I was terrified. And I'm like, oh God, what would I do? So and I was doing the high fives and stuff, and for whatever reason, right, this guy's got like his keys in his hand, and I don't know if he was whatever. So I high five him, and I knock the fucking keys out of his hand, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, so I'm doing my entrance, and I'm like, do I pick some up? Like, just what do I do? Like, if I go past and leave them, I look like a dickhead. But then if I stop and pick them up, then they know I've fucked it. So whatever, I just leave it, and so the crowd are like very like lukewarm as being polite. And I'm like, it's fine. I've got my big dice thingy. I'll win them over. It's great. So when it comes out, I'm just going okay. We're getting like the smart and applause, and he goes to whip me. I run, go to the spring, and I just fuck it. My feet just go flump, and I just fall straight on my fucking ass. And so obviously, and I don't know what to do. So I just sort of like lie there in like a fucking heap, and he just starts stomping this shit out of me, and the crowd just start laughing. And I'm like, I've fucked it. I've well and truly fucked it. And because I'm just lying there like a fucking dead baby, like just, oh God. And so ever since I've never sprung off the second rope in my life ever since then, because I'm like, I've fucked it and it's scarred me for life. So that was funny. And like, and Thunder's like, I told you should have fucking practiced it. I'm like, maybe.
Like you're saying about like not getting the reaction you think you're gonna get.
Yeah.
There was one gala, and we should have known because it was a fucking gala.
Yeah.
But we did this battle royal. Was it the one we did at Harry House?
Oh God, yeah.
And I hit Connor with a stunner. I thought, I'll hit you with a stunner. Can you do like the full rock, getting the rolling fucking spray off it? And we'll get a massive fucking pop. Nah. So this was like, again, it was like a finisher fest. So everybody's hitting dan. Here comes the stunner. It was a last even bump. Hit the stunner, and he does his big fucking spring him off, fucking just flat the flare. Nah, and I just looked at it like, for fuck's sake.
It's the worst, isn't it? It's like you're coming out and it's cricket. You're like, oh God.
God. It was like, here we go.
That's it. Like, well, whenever we do galas, I just do like stupid shit. Like I was doing a 3-way match with Crusher and someone else. I can't remember who the someone else is, so I apologize. So we're coming out, we're doing the match, whatever. And we're just going off the cuff. And one of our security guys, Lewis Turner, he's like, Don, there's a fucking ice cream van over there. I'm like, what is there? He's like, I dare you £2 to go and buy an ice cream in the middle of your match. I bet you fucking want to do it. And I'm like, all right, fucking watch me.
I mind dying.
We're doing the match, and I hit someone, I pound out the ring, and I stroll over like in full gimmick in my punch. Go up the last, I'm like, I need an ice cream, love. And she gives me an ice cream, and like they're wrestling, and I was trying to break Crusher because he never breaks, right? So I'm just sitting there, and he's like beating up a dude, and I'm just sitting in it, like on his seat, sunbathing, looking at my ice cream, like, think I do about it. And I swear to God, he turned away, and I'm like, I fucking got him.
Hey, was that the music festival we did?
Yeah.
Aye. Yeah. I went and watched that for that. I was like, where the fuck's he going? And he won that. He's got the ice cream van. Tremendous.
That's it. It's just because he betted that I wouldn't do it. So I was like, well, screw you, mate. You know what I mean?
Aye.
2 seconds. That's my child crying their eyes out.
Oh,
but yeah, so he betted that I wouldn't do it, and I was like, oh, I didn't watch me. So yeah, that was fun. And then I was trying to it was like one of the Comic Cons, think it was the Comic Con in Pataudry. I was trying to get people to buy me coffee, and they just weren't going for it. So like I was like, we're just messing about. And I'm like, cool. So I was like, right, we're doing the match, and I was like, right, I want someone to go buy me a soya milk, fair trade vanilla latte, and I want it done pronto. And they just kept refusing me. I was devastated. You know what I mean? I was hoping that someone would like just bite me down and everything. It was good.
Aye. Like that's fuck it. I've missed galas this year. Just hey,
the galas are tremendous.
Aye,
man, they're my favorite because I always go like ridiculously long. Like there was one time it was a Harrow House, right? So we're doing matches at Harrow House, right? And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna go out there as long as I want, right? So it was like me and Cade went have a match that's like half an hour, right? It's ridiculous. It was just ridiculous, right? We're wrestling this match for half an hour. I come back and Mikey's like, "You realise you were out there for half an hour?" I'm like, "Good." I was like, "I should have went 35." Just ridiculous. Like no need for it. Just cause. I'm like, screw it. Who cares? We'll go 35 minutes.
I totally think we're getting away with it. Let's be honest.
Yeah. There was one time me and Walter did. I want to say it was Mildred? It was one of the music festivals, but it was a scorcher of a day, right? I mean, like really hot. And Wrestlezone was doing 2 galas that day, so we split the crews.
Yeah.
We only had like maybe 4 guys each gala. And so it was like me, Crusher K, Brian Tucker, Chris Archer. So it was a scorcher of a day, right? And you know, we're wrestling and like we all had 1 match each, and Tucker was like, "Oh, I don't think we should do too many matches." And me and Crusher was like, screw it, we'll do about 4 more. So we did all these matches, right? And I forgot to put on friggin' sunscreen, right? Like an idiot. So I end up coming out of it looking like friggin' Dr. Zoidberg, which is great. And it was like we wrestled so me and Crusher are like totally like we're fatigued, we're blistered and whatever have you. And then we're like, let's go out drinking because that's a good idea. So we all met up at the so the two groups met up at the training unit afterwards. We all went out for a drink in the sun, right? Well, the next day I was friggin' dying because I had a really bad sunstroke and I was hungover to all hell. So here's me lying in bed, friggin' blistered, spewing and fatigued as all hell.
Just dehydrate this fuck.
And the thing is I'm a bad drinker. Like, I mix drinks. Like, not so much now, but back then, I'd never stick with the same drink, right? So I'd start on, like, beer, then cider, then I'd move on to Southern Comfort, then Morgan's, then vodka, then champagne. One night I was out drinking champagne with Brian Tucker, and it was awful. So we're all sozzled, we're in the night or whatever. I mean, I was gonzoed. Like, I would, and we're dancing, whatever, and Tucker just appears and he's like, "I've got champagne," and we're like, "What the?" So everyone starts drinking champagne, right?
Champagne, Brian Tucker.
Great. I'm feeling, champagne, Brian Tucker. I don't know where he got it from. I'm feeling great, you know, totally like off my friggin' rocker. And I'm stumbling home. I phoned my mum at like 4 a.m. I'm like, "I'm coming," and then the phone just cut dead, and she's like, "What the hell?" I get home, and I don't remember any of this, but I come home. And I went to my mum's house because my girlfriend told me not to bother coming home that night, which was probably for the best.
It's wise.
And so like I go to my mum's house, and this is what she told me. I come in, and I'm like, I'm pissed, and then I fall back like a fucking tree, fast asleep in a friggin' kitchen. So eventually I wake up and I must have went through to bed, and then I was spewing through the night. I swear to God, the next day I woke up and we had like a Mickey D's on the way home from like the club. And I swear to God, in the spew bowl, there was like a whole chip that I spewed out my nose. And I was like, I don't know how I did that. And I was dying for days after that. So I was sunstroke, hungover to hell, and been drinking champagne. I've never touched champagne since. I was like, nope.
That's what did it. It was a champagne.
Yeah, I know, right? It was awful. It was bad. It was so bad. I've never touched champagne since, and ever since that night is when I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to stick to just one drink throughout the night in Fat and Play, because mixing drinks is not good.
It can get messy.
Yeah, well, it's like I've got a couple of Polish friends that I like to drink with, But they just drink straight vodka. And I mean, straight vodka shots.
Aye.
So I was drinking beer and stuff, and I was like, I've got to their party. And I was like, I'm only going to drink beer. I'm going to tell them. I'm going to put my foot down. I'm only drinking beer. I get in. They went, what are you drinking? I'm like, beer. They went, here you go, vodka shots. Drink. And I was like, oh god. So I ended up doing like straight vodka shots, and it was just, vodka does not agree with me in the slightest, and I felt like friggin' death.
See, I'm the same. Vodka's the one drink I cannot touch. It
just it fucks me up, man.
There was one New Year we were out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had vodka, and I was ill for about 3 days. And I blame the vodka. And it probably was nothing to do with the vodka. It's probably just by the amount of fucking drink I had. Like, would have been eating since fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and then we'd been eating till like 4. So it'd be like 12-hour drinking fucking spree, if no more. And it's like,
that's rough, man.
So it's like, blame the vodka. It was probably not. It's just probably the amount of fucking different shit I had and the amount, the fucking volume it was in me. Like the vodka side. So ever since then, I'm like, nah, no vodka for me.
Yeah, like that night ruined me. I was like, no more vodka for me. Like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, just doesn't work for me, brother. So I just stick to Morgan's or Southern Comfort now. That's it. That's all I drink.
See. Rum's my drink just now. Well, sailor jelly, but it's the same. Getting spicy rum.
It's because I don't get really hungover with rum. It's quite nice. You know what I mean? I tried gin one time, and that was a fucking disaster. So my old boss, he became like, he got right into gin. And I was like, oh, I tried it like one time years ago, and I was like, it wasn't for me. And we're at my mate's wedding, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to get you liking gin. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I shit you not, like, and it was awful. Like, it's maybe the second worst hangover I've ever had was with gin after champagne. Because he tried me on every different kind of gin, right? So we tried, it's Gordon's we tried first. And I was like, oh, it's minging. He's like, right, that one's shite. Everyone hates that one. We'll try Bombay Sapphire. It was shit. There was a Tanqueray, shit. And we went through like 7 different kinds of gins. And I was fucking sozzled. Because I wasn't a gin drinker. And I'm like, dude, no. I'm like, this is fucking awful. I'm never going to get into gin. You're like, well, try one more gin and we'll spice it up. So he pours one of the gin, and then there was like fruit, like Jolly Ranchers were at the table for like, so he starts sticking fucking Jolly Ranchers in my gin, and he goes, that'll make it taste nice. I'm like, no, it fucking won't. So here's me drinking fucking Jolly Ranchers, like gin with Jolly Ranchers. I'm like, you know what, I am fucking done. But then I made the mistake. I moved on to rum after that and vodka, and then that was it. It was rough. That was my total. But yeah, gin is not for me. Like,
me and my buddies, we used to drink it like years and years. We were fucking, just like early 20s. We used to drink gin and lemon. Just like we'll be classy as fuck. just as a joke.
Like, gin, the classy man's drink.
Gin and tonics, please. And then like there was a couple of years ago, I got paid off.
Yeah.
And just at the time I got paid off, I won this drinks raffle in one of the takeaways in Montrose. And then this fucking a massive box, like 300 quid's worth of drink. And I was like, these fancy gin, wasn't it just gin? It was like cane flavoured gin. So I got paid off. So every night, like I was out of work for about 3 months. I'm going, I'll try some of this. We'll have some of this. Rattle through it. It's like, oh, right, fucking gin drinker now then.
Jesus. I remember when like we used to do fucking vodka swirlies when we were kids. Oh. Like you'd do the thing, and it was like all my mates were really good at it. I tried. I just fucked it. I did a vodka, did a swirly everywhere. Yeah, man. It was rough.
I see that shit we did when we were young. I was like, the fuck's the name of it? No Liquid, the other. It's halfway at Belmont Street. Foundry. Foundry.
No. Cotton Club?
No, it's halfway. It's not Belmont Street. It's kind of old church. Opposite the takeaway. No. Can't remember the fit my name was, but they used to do this Purple Rains.
Oh, okay.
And they used to fucking inhale the smoke and that, and I was on this fucking fancy shit. I'm like, it's just like, what the fuck are you playing at?
Well, see, it's funny. The drink of choice in Tory was white lightning. Like, not even real cider, just cheap shite.
Just scrumpy jacks.
That's it. It was just fucking awful.
Alfie Tilly, so I got other shit when I was like,
that's it. Just awful. Oh man, it's like when you're a skid. A couple of bottles of white lightning.
I'm declubbing a couple of quid, then we'll get a fucking
that's it.
bottle of white lightning and a special brew.
Fucking yeah. There's no class in Tory. We're all just no class whatsoever. Good.
Aye, like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, the first contact training we get back to the chaos. The first drinking, fucking the first day we go in the pub.
Oh, it's gonna be a mess.
It's gonna be.
It's gotta be a mess.
Like, so again, Scotties are really trying to organise a party in the academy once.
Oh god, yeah.
Once the rules allow it, it's like it's.
He messaged me for a piss up months ago, while we're still in the first lockdown. He's like, yeah, we're gonna get a fucking piss up. I'm like, sounds good to me, man. You know what I mean?
Just we're getting the boys back together. It's gonna be fucking chaos.
But you know what? It's the social element I'm looking forward to. Just hanging out with folk will be great. You know what I mean?
Like I said, this is it's someone, but it's not the same as getting all the boys out together and.
Oh yeah, I mean it's better than nothing, but yeah, it's not that like same level of like Malice being absolutely fucking floored off his face and he's just fucking swaying. And there was one time we were out drinking, it was fucking amazing. I think it was one of the Christmas dues, and like Damien hadn't been drinking in a while. We're all drinking, and Damien ended up just like standing completely still as a statue, and we're like, "Is he all right?" And he was just completely fucking gone. And it was like he was like drunk, but he was like standing perfectly, just sort of swaying.
Just concentrating on being alive.
That's it. That's the best drunk is Archer though, because he does. Oh Jesus. Oh
like,
God.
Is when this goes out, like the last episode will have been the first heavy metal mixer. No, the heavy metal mixer, and fucking Archer was like, and him and Connor were just fucked. But, two of them were just wrecked. you could see. Feel like I don't get how long it was. It was like 3 hours, maybe slightly longer. Yeah. But you can see like Archer, like I don't know if he was on the beers to start with, but eventually he's on the nips. Yeah. And he's just fucked.
Just fucked. Oh Jesus, I love Archer. Drunk Archer is the best. There was this picture of him floating about for ages. And it was awesome. It's like him just sitting. He's completely off his face, totally drunk off his ass, and he's sitting like this, just. And it's amazing. He's doing like the most amazing drunk face. It was amazing. Him in his cowboy boots and his open floral shirt. Oh, it was tremendous.
Yeah, it's like some of that fucking White Snake video. He's fucking.
Oh,
so I might be
it's like the big fucking cowboy boots as well. You know what I mean? Oh.
We went to Sean Johnson's wedding. It was up in nice. How far it was. Or was it Sean's or was it Denzel's? It was no, it was Sean's, and it was to old Meldrum way some way.
Yeah.
And we said to Archer, again, wear your cowboy boots with your suit on, like just as a joke. So he turned up. He's got his cowboy boots and his yellow bandana, and he's like yellow matching pocket square on his suit jacket. It's like only Archer could get away with that.
Oh wow, that is a look and a half. Holy shit! Fucking hell. I remember we went to Aspen Faith's wedding, and we were me and Crusher were debating whether we should get suit jackets or not, and because I was like, just go with shirt and tie, shirt and waistcoat tie, we look smart enough. Well, but then when we heard everyone was got suit jackets, and we're like, fuck, we're getting fucking suit jackets. So we're going to the Slater's shop, right? And I was like, how much is a suit jacket? About 85 quid. I was like, oh Jesus, okay. So I bought it. So because I bought one, Crusher bought one, and Crusher's like, yeah, I'll take one as well. And we looked at Crusher, because he's a big guy, went, yeah, yours will be like 125, 130. And he was bloody livid. And this is like 9 in the morning. We'd gotten the bus at 6, and he was like, this is fucking shit. This is fucking bullshit. Just and I was like, I felt so bad, because I'm like, I couldn't. It's 85. I couldn't just look at you and went 130. Like fucking bastard.
Just give me the 85, squeeze into it.
That's it. You know what I mean? Oh, I never dress up though, so it was like, because I just wear trackies and t-shirts, because fuck it. Okay.
I've got in fact, like you said, the Sean's wedding, or it might have been. Can't remember if I got married. Was it Dennis who got married first?
Yeah.
And I
think it was.
I'll need to go to buy a new suit, because I've had this suit since I was I got you from a I want to say it was either the 18th or 21st birthday. I had this fucking suit.
Oh wow!
Like I got a suit for my birthday. My mum and dad bought it, and I tried it on, and like the trousers are. I think how the fuck it fit me when I was 18 or 21 or whatever it was. But like I tried it on, and the suit jacket was fucking massive, and the trousers were fucking tiny. I was like, how the fuck did this fit me?
How the fuck did that work?
like you look like I said, the trousers were tiny, but it looked like you were like when you were a kid and you put on your dad's jacket. That's what it looked like. It was fucking huge. I'm like, what the fuck were you playing at?
Well, see, I'm such a tight arse. I've got one suit. It's my funeral and my wedding suit. The only thing that differentiates it, the tie. I wear a colourful tie. It's a wedding. It's a black tie. It's funeral. Job done.
See, I've got a blue suit and a black suit. One for weddings and one for blue.
Well, I'm like, why have two suits when you can have two ties?
But then, like I said, that's been a couple of years since I've been on, so I've no idea if it still fits. So I could really fuck that, you know.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I bought like it was after the first RRQ show. We did like the party, the after party. So
aye.
Aspen face like we need to get like fancy dress clothes. I'm like, yeah, you're right, you're probably right. So I bought these like. And this was like 2013, so I was like skinny as hell. Bought these like checkered trousers and stuff. And one day I was going for an interview, and this was like 4 years later. I'm like, I've got a pair. I'll just wear them. Oh fuck it. I put them on. I was like, rip, and I'm like, oh, I fucked it. Oh dear. Oh shit. And then it was like, I went through like I tried like everyone was wearing skinny jeans for a while, whatever. I was like, fuck it. I'll hop on this trend. Bought one pair of skinny jeans, wore them, tried them on. I'm like. No, absolutely fucking not. Because I do not have the body for skinny jeans. I've got a flat ass and flat thighs. I'm like, nope, this is not a good look.
Skinny jeans, I've only ever owned the one pair of skinny jeans, and there's the black jeans I wear for wrestling. That's only pair I've ever fucking owned.
Yeah. Oh, I used to like wearing jeans. I used to like making in trackies and stuff. But man, they're just so much more comfy.
See, I'm a shorts guy. Like I'll wear shorts most of the year. Apart from like November, December, January, February, I need to put jeans on.
Yeah.
But see, like the other fucking 8 months of the year, shorts.
That's it.
Just shorts.
I mean? That's it. Well, it's like I've never been. The only time I wear shorts is for swimming. I die look good in shorts. I mean, like I was wear trackies, get nice bulky clothing. I don't look less fat.
Aye, baggy clothes, cover it up.
That's it, cover it up, you know what I mean?
That's some fucking tangent we've gone off on there.
I know, right? We were speaking about something, but fuck knows what it was. Sure.
Like I've said before, like I'm supposed to be the host here and bring it back on track, but at this point, I've just fucked it.
You fucked it. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like I am not a formal person in the slightest, like at all. Like I just, I hate like doing it. Like we have to be formal.
Aye.
So it was like I did the SWN podcast, and like so like I prepared for that. I was like really formal, and just So when you ask me on here, I'm like, do I need to? You're like, nah, I just fucking head up. I'm like, oh, not fucking that.
Just bring a drink. You're all right.
Also, that's it. Because and also as well, like I swear, like I cuss terribly. I'm trying to cut it down, but so like the first thing I do the SWN, and Billy's like, yeah, so we can't swear, and I'm like, fuck, great. So like every time I'm speaking to him, I'm having to like go through like the answer in my head. I'm like, don't swear, don't fuck it, Dan, don't fuck it. So miraculously got through the whole thing without swearing, but the minute he fucking turned the camera off, I was like, well, how the fuck was that? That was fucking hard, man.
Aye, I was the same.
Like a trooper.
Like I said,
man.
Like before we started this, I was saying like when I first started this, I was me and Scotty was the first team. I was like, well, we'll try and keep the swearing to a minimum, and within about 5 minutes, we just fucked it. It was like, well, there's no point in trying it. Aye, we'll just put a disclaimer at the front. It'll be fine.
That's it.
It's not for kids. It's
well, it was funny because I remember before like the lockdown happened, we were having like our junior class in the mat room and we were in the ring room.
Aye.
Bill comes up to me, he's like, we've got the juniors in, so for the love of God, don't swear. I'm like, righto, not a problem, sir. Within 5 minutes, I'm like, so yeah, hit the fucking ropes, duck behind a fucking catch for the elbow, then fucking shit, get up, I'll run. And Bill just looks at me and he's like, what the hell, man? I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I promise I won't do it again. 2 minutes later, so I fucking drop you the brain buster, and he's like, you know what? You're not allowed to come in. So I'm like, okay. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Aye, it's someone I just use it as like commas or think like when you're thinking another word to say, I throw a swear word in there just I've got time till my brain catches up.
Well, mine is fuck, shit, or gimmick. Everything's a gimmick. Like, doesn't make any sense, but I'm like, yeah, just do the gimmick. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but just do the gimmick, brother. It's fine. You know, we'll run the spot, do the gimmick. Yeah.
Throwing some lingo might just look knowledgeable. It's fine.
That's it. Well, it's like on my class on a Friday, I speak in like wrestling lingo, and they just look at me like, what, two heads? I'm like, oh yeah, shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, we'll just we'll do this gimmick, and then we'll do that gimmick, and they're like, what gimmick? And I'm like,
it's like when we
break it down, yeah.
When we were told we were getting the new trainees like on our nights, and I can't remember it was Garrett or Bradley. I said, can we just go and start speaking Carney?
It's just whoosh over their head. You know what I mean?
Like, even though, like, yeah, it's not that hard to figure out fucking Carney, but yeah, it's like, can we just do it just to fuck with them?
Just to fuck with them. Oh man,
that was the thing. Like, I said to Garrett, I said, if these boys in our sense of humor like the Wednesday nights that we're in, I said these boys are fucked.
I know, that's it. Like,
see a decent group of guys that they're in. The team we've got on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's like the Wednesday group's good. 2 seconds. I'm just transporting the room because my kid's awake, so I'm transporting the room. 2 seconds. There we go. I'm a professional, see? Now I'm in the kitchen. But the good thing is in the kitchen is my booze is in the kitchen, so we're all good.
That's what you need.
Because I left my glass at the house though. Not so good. So we'll just improvise. We'll use my Central Perks cup. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it's not even in the shot. Yeah, Central Perks. There we go.
Oh, fuck off your
That'll be my new drinking glass.
I fucking did that with Connor fucking last episode. Fuck off your friends, bish.
We'll see, right? I like French, but I'm not an avid thing. I just like the Central Perk cup. Like Connor's like an avid, but like there was a Friends reunion. I'm like, oh god, like I just fuck knows. I don't much follow like the Friends really. So
yeah, it's someone like I had a fucking ex-girlfriend years and years ago. She was mad into it. I was like, this isn't funny.
Well, see, I enjoyed it until they started replaying on E4 like all the fucking time, and I'm like, oh fuck off! Like you'd see the same episode about 2 times in a week, like 2 times in a day, and you're like, fuck this shit. It's
someone that's never done anything for me. I'm like, this just isn't funny.
See, like my humor, like I fucking love like Father Ted and stuff. Like that's my sort of humor. I
can go for that.
Father Ted. Oh, like it's tremendous. Like I love like old school humor. It's awesome. You know what I mean? Like that sounded like I'm pissing. I'm pouring a drink. Honest, I'm not pissing. I just realised like. It's only my face on camera, and it's like I'm standing like I'm for a piss, and it's like dribbles, and I'm like, oh god.
If there's ever a podcast you could get a while behind a piss on, it's this scene.
It's like, so what did you do in the podcast? Yeah, talk some wrestling, talk some shit, pissed, you know.
It would be a first.
Yeah.
That'll be one for the end of your highlights.
So what did you do? Just pished?
Aye, just
pished. Yeah, just one of them. One of those, lads. Just one of those.
That'll be the clickbait to get Abdi listening.
He took a pish.
Zach Dynamite takes a pish.
Just do it in the Vince voice. He took a pish. Now, like, so I don't know if I've measured this drink properly because it's in a coffee cup and not like a glass. So I might have fucked it.
It's fine.
Maybe. My missus, I can feel like in the back, feel my missus just being like, she's like, I hate when you've been drinking, so you're loud and obnoxious. I'm like, I'm loud and obnoxious. Anyway, I can't even say obnoxious.
That's why I record this when the wife's working. She's not here because she just says, she says, the longer it goes on, the louder it gets. She was here for like one of them, and she's like, see the longer it goes on, the maybe for the drink, the louder it gets.
That's it.
It's like,
that's it. Yeah, nothing you can really do at that point, is there?
Aye. So that's why I always try and organise these when she's working nowadays. It's like, I can be like, as long as I'm not loud enough to wake the kids up, it's fine.
That's it. Well, mine was like a fucking military mission tonight because I was like, well, we need to try and get the kids down by 8 so I can at least start the podcast and get like a decent chunk without the kids. And then there's Caitlin waking them up at like 8, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Ah man, it's always been like last night I had nothing planned, right? Last night I had nothing going on, and they slept all night. I'm like, this is fucking fantastic. Tonight I got stuff planned and I wake. I'm like, oh. I was the case. I need to stop planning shit, to be honest.
Aye.
You know?
See, I've always gotten away with it. Like every recording I've done, I think they've only been away. I sent them away for the birthday bash. I sent them to my mum's for that.
That was probably a good idea.
Because I thought, this might get a bit messy, so I didn't want to be. But every other one I've like, I just got to run in at some point. And not once have they ever come down, like, woken up. Or there was one nice. I did, I can't remember who it was, I was recording with one night. And we'd literally just finished recording, and I was halfway upstairs, and I heard a little fucking wee man spewing in his bed. I was like, here we go.
You know what I mean?
Just here.
No. Well, the other night, Caitlin was up till like fucking 12. She was high as a kite. Finally got her down, like, right, boom, down. I got to bed. Hear a wee man fucking gurning and waking up. I'm like, oh, fucking course. Like, one goes doing the other, he's like, okay, it's my time to shine now, motherfucker.
Fucking shifts.
That's it, man. It's fucking, And obviously, like, Caitlin, like, my daughter, I love her a bitch. But she's like totally a daddy's girl. Like, I can't even go with that. I fucking fish with her, follow me to the fucking toilet. Like, there was one night I was on like a Zoom call with you guys, right? And I'm in the other room, and like the door was like opened ever so fucking slightly, and I swear to God, all I seen was her face, like her eyeball, like this, and the craft is like, Daddy, and then her hand reaches out, and it was like fucking Jack Nicholson in the fucking Shining, like, here's Caitlin. I'm like, oh God, terrifying. And then the other day, I was trying to go for that fucking shit. You know, just taking, my dad time, enjoying my time. Here's her, boots open the fucking door, and she's like, Daddy. And I'm like, oh God, it's fucking, oh Jesus, it never ends.
I'm good at that. Just horsing the fucking door wide open. Wham, there you go.
That's it. And I'm like, Caitlin, really? It's just sit there in the bed. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
Aye. See, that's the thing, like, the lock in our door or our bathroom doors never worked the time we've lived here. I've always wanted to fix it. I've just never bothered. So you get me, man, just booting the door open, like, boot. What are you doing? Like, the fuck does it look like I'm doing?
What do you think? Oh, well, see, right. I'm like, right, so there's loads of shit around the house I need to do, but by the end of the day, I'm like, I cannot be fucking arsed. Everything goes in the fucking later pile. And, my later pile now is like fucking like sky high. It's like fucking Everest. I'm like, I'll get to it eventually. Like, my missus comes through, she's like, when you doing this? I'm like, later. And she's like, everything's later. And I'm like, yeah, because it gets done eventually. It's just I'm not putting a time frame on it. Because then you'll never be disappointed.
Didn't commit yourself to it. That's a trick.
That's it.
Honestly, like, what do you mean? Last year, I went up and started fucking, I cleared it because we've just shit in our loft, like, I had the kids' stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, we've no plan on here anymore. It's like, we'll get rid of our, we kept with buggies and fucking cots and whatever else up there. And I took a hand out the loft, looked at it, and just put a hand back. I was like, nah.
That's amazing. It's like, no, not out.
I know. There's still shit doing it, like, lying in my bedroom, like kind of like, bags of clays. I just didn't bother putting back, so it's just shit lying.
Well, it's like we moved house recently, so like and I got most of it done, but it was like a hectic week because we got like literally we got told we're getting a new property, and then we got the keys to the place like 2 days later, and by the time I have everything moved in, so it was fucking hectic, man. So anyway, I was at it for like 2-3 days, and they're still black bags, like they still need to put away, right? And they're in like the fucking and they're like our bedroom, and like the storage space.
Aye.
The other day, I was like, right, got to fucking get rid of them. Got a day today. I looked in, went, I'm like, they're there. They're no hurting nobody. It's all good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm like, you know what I mean?
I could do that. Or.
I said, or. That's the thing. It's always or we could do this. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, man. When the kids are like, see, it's when you got young kids, especially, I think it's it's finding the motivation, especially at the end of the day. You're like, you know what? I just want to sit and chill and do fuck all and vegetate for like, you know.
She's like,
long.
My problem is like I work, like I'm early, so like I'm 4 o'clock start, so I get finished at lunchtime, and then by the time I get home, I get showered or something to eat. I have to go and pick the weans up for school.
Yeah.
So like I've got them, and I was like, then because I'm working early, I need to go back to my bed for they go to their bed, so I've no time. So I was like, I'll do it with days off, and then it comes to my days off, I was like, fuck it, I'm days off.
That's it, yeah. That's it. You know what I mean? Like
I'm not doing any work.
That's it. It's like, it's one of them, is it? It's like, you know, like our days are so fucking chock a block. Like, especially like when I used to work in like hotels and stuff, I'd be out the door at like 5:30 in the morning. I wouldn't be home till like 10 at night. And it's like, fuck if I'm doing anything. Like, you know, fuck. And then by the time your days off are coming, you're like, no, I've earned this day off. I ain't doing shit.
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
I'm just gonna sit about fucking play my computer or whatever it was. I just get the fuck all.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's like I used to like watch a shitload of TV shows, but I'm so behind on everything, man. I just don't have time.
Aye.
You know what I mean? And it's like people's like, do you still watch wrestling? I'm like, not really, because I don't have time to sit and watch fucking wrestling.
It's like I've watched nothing. I think I mentioned this of like I've watched one night of WrestleMania. That's all the rest, all the WWE I've watched this year.
Yeah.
Like the only wrestling I've really watched is the stuff we did in our training calls, like arena stuff. That's like pretty much the only wrestling I've watched this year.
That's it. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like so when I was like a teenager, I was fucking obsessed with wrestling. Like I watched wrestling all the fucking time.
Aye.
But then when I started wrestling, it's weird how like you're obviously obsessed with wrestling when you are a wrestler, but it's in a different sort of way. It's not like watching it. It's more just like, you know, learning it and getting better at it.
Aye, you can't. Once you get into it, you kind of watch it the same. Once you can the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, it sounds daft. You can't just watch wrestling and enjoy it because you're always picking it apart, or you know, it's weird. And it's like ever since then, I just don't really watch it. And also, I can't be arsed watching 3 hours of Raw and SmackDown. And
too much.
Fuck that, man. Fuck that.
Too much.
I just go on YouTube and watch the highlights. I'm like,
I didn't even do that now. I was like, at this point, I've just fallen so far behind that I just didn't care.
Yeah, man. That's it, is it? It's like, you know, it's like when I get free time, I'd rather like read a book or play a video game or like listen to some music or like just literally do anything else. You know what I mean? Like that's, you know, it's just fuck it. But like I say, when I was a teenager, I watched fucking shitloads of wrestling. All of it, even the shite stuff, just cause I bought like Tournament of Death or some shit. It's shite. Like my opinion anyway, I don't like it. It was like the original one, like, and I was like, I remember buying it and then watching it. This is amazing. And then like 10 years later, I'm like, for me, brother.
But then you're a big Japanese guy. Japanese wrestling guy.
Yeah. I love Japanese wrestling. Admittedly, so like lately, New Japan hasn't really been doing it for me. But generally, like I love the Japanese style of wrestling. Yeah, I'm a big into Japanese wrestling. Like I love the. It sounds weird, but I love like the more sports element of it. Like, you know, I love it. Like
they still treated like it's a shoot.
Yeah, that's it. Like I mean, like I enjoy WWE and stuff, but like sometimes it's like I'm a believer. Like wrestling can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. You know, if you want it to be more sports, fine, cool. It can be. You want it to be some comedy, cool. But like, I still like that element of a sport to it because, like, as a fan, that's what gets me invested. If I can believe, if two guys are like wrestling and it feels like they're fighting for something, I get more invested. Like the other day, with the backlash pay-per-view and fucking zombies, I turned the TV off. I'm like, I've got to.
I see. That's.
Like, I just don't. Yeah,
like,
it's
that's the only thing I like. I've still got kind of follow pages on Facebook or whatever, and kind of pops up and it's like, the fuck's this shit? It's like, this is exactly the reason I'm not watching anymore.
Yeah. And it's one of those reasons wrestling always gets sort of like a bad reputation because it's like, well, it's got zombies passion. It's like, well, yeah, it is. Like
that's the thing.
Like I've got
he's trying to appeal to the mainstream, and they just fucked it. Like, it just doesn't work.
Well, it's like I've got mates that are like not wrestling fans, but they know I wrestle.
Aye.
So they like watch stuff. And sometimes I'm like, oh, why can you watch this? And you spin on it. And my mate went to me and he's like, I watched wrestling today, and a man got eaten by zombies. What the fuck? And even I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I can't explain that.
Yeah, it's like, no, fuck knows. Yeah, like I much prefer like lately I've been like, if I am watching anything, it's more like NWA from like the mid-80s. I really enjoy that. I love that like old school sports, like big time title match. I love that shit. Like I've been binging Ric Flair lately. Like in his prime, that's fucking awesome. Like him and Wyndham, him and Steamboat, him and Funk, just awesome, man. Like it was just.
Well, you say that Ric Flair in his prime. He was in his prime for about 30 fucking years.
That's it, is it? Like Flair was in his prime forever. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, but it's like watching. Like I love that like aspect of like I like UFC. I like UFC. I like some boxing. I like that like big time title fight feel.
Aye.
You know when you get like a legit, and I fucking love that, and especially when pro wrestling manages to do it. And for me, as like a wrestling fan and as a wrestler, I feel like sometimes in wrestling that's maybe something we try and get back to a little bit more.
Yeah.
Is that legitimate feel of like two guys, like a lot of times in wrestling now you watch it, titles are meaningless anyway, but like it's hard to invest in a title match because it doesn't feel like it even matters anymore.
This guy's thing, I mean? That's what's the fucking point.
It's like I like when a title fight, like in UFC, like when two guys fight for the belt, and it's that genuine feeling of it can go either way.
Aye.
And obviously, because it's a legit sport and stuff, like it's easier to have that. But I definitely feel like in my mind as a pro wrestler and stuff, and like I was like, wrestling surely has one of the easiest ways to tell that sort of story that can go either way, because it's how you build it and book it and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just feel like wrestling needs to sort of try and get back more into that sort of mentality, in my opinion, anyway.
I think WWE fucked it recent, like past, I don't know how many years, but it's like this 50-50 booking. Everybody needs to look strong. Everybody needs to look strong.
Like,
just
sometimes guys just need to win, and some guys just need to lose. It's it's like when I was a kid, right? Like I grew up watching wrestling like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Triple H beat everyone, right?
Aye.
And this isn't a knock on Triple H or anything. As a fan, I really liked Triple H because he came across as this huge star that was awesome and you could get behind. And I liked guys like Shawn Michaels. It's like nowadays no one gets presented like that, so it's hard to really invest in anyone.
See, I was the same. I've got 10 years before you, so like Hogan was the guy when I was coming through. It's like Hogan was like he was the champ for fight. He kind of beat everybody. I say but everyone was a fan of Hogan, but it's like it's the same kind of thing. It's like he was the champ and he was the guy you beat, and there's nobody like that now.
No, there's not. Like I fucking love John Cena. Like I love John Cena as a fan. I fucking love John Cena now, but it's like you could invest in John Cena because he won, and as a fan, like this guy's cool, and I can invest in him. Nowadays, you don't really have that because everyone just sort of flip flops, and it's like, okay, whatever. And to me, like, if you can't invest in the wrestler or performer, then you're fucked because, like, right, there's so many times you watch wrestling, and you know something's going to be a good match, and you watch it because it'll be a good match, but at the end of the match or whatever, the only takeaway you had is, it was a good match, but there was no emotional investment or connection or anything, no lasting impression.
It's a damn match you got to go back and watch again.
No, exactly, but like, and that's a shame to me because it's like that's the best part of wrestling is when you get emotion. One of my favorite matches of all time is Michaels and Jericho in a ladder match in 2008 because I was so invested in Shawn Michaels, the babyface, and I fucking loathed Jericho for like, stripping away the tights and cutting his head and being a prick and like not being the Y2J that I grew up loving.
Aye.
So I wanted Shawn Michaels to fucking win, man. I was devastated when he lost, right? Devastated. Because they made me care enough about the two characters in the match that I cared who won and lost. I just finished watching TakeOver this morning. Good show, fine, but like I was like, that was it. It was a show. Cool. I didn't care. That's the problem.
Aye.
And it's like I want that. I like the best part of wrestling is when people give a shit, and I'd like to see more of that in the mainstream wrestling and stuff. You know what I mean?
Like that's the thing. It's like you need somebody you can latch onto. Like the past fucking 10 years, I've watched it. There's only been maybe 3 guys. Fucking AJ, because fucking he's AJ and he's fucking tremendous.
Fucking ace,
and the other 2 is Gallows and Anderson because they're just funny as fuck.
Awesome. They're ace though. They're fucking ace. See, but what I love about Gallows and Anderson is like they feel like real people, like. Because they've got such big personalities in and out of the ring, you invest in them as people, not just professional wrestlers. and that's where the connection to, at least for me anyway. Like I think Doc Gallows is hilarious.
Aye,
you know what I mean?
Me and Bradley are like massive fucking Gallows and Anderson fans, especially Gallows.
They're fucking awesome.
Gallows is nice. We mess each other back and forth about kind of like the podcast arena and whatever, and this that, and next thing. Yeah. It's like they're just funny guys. It's like
that's it. Oh, they're awesome. Like I freaking love them. They're great.
But apart from like Gallows and Anderson and Styles, like that's the only three guys I've really latched onto. Like Bray Wyatt had it for a while. I thought he was fucking good when he brought it. Like, he first came in, and then
Bray Wyatt when he first started was
they just fucked it.
Then they fucked it. Yeah, they fucked it. I feel so bad for him because like I thought the Fiend was awesome when he first debuted. I was like, this is fuck, and then they fucked it within like 6 weeks. And I was like, no. And it's like, you know, like it's weird. Like I hate saying this, but like this isn't a knock on like modern wrestling or anything or any one company, but it's like, see if wrestling is the way it was now. When if I was like the age I got into wrestling and it was like it is now, I wouldn't have got into wrestling. I don't think, to be honest. Like, I don't think I would have fell in love with it. To be honest,
certainly not the same degree.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's like it's like my son was really into wrestling, and in the last few years he's even been like, nah, it's stupid. And when my 11-year-old son is like, it's fucking stupid, I'm like, yeah, that's quite worrying. You know what I mean? Like my 11, he's like, that's stupid.
It's like, I mean? Even when I first started watching it, I was fucking the shit was just ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like it was still like, can you still get fucking Hogans and Warriors and like Undertaker should never have fucking worked.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be like a dead guy at Bury's folk and whatever. It's like it should never have worked.
But the reason it worked is he committed to it, but so did they.
Aye.
They never committed to Bray Wyatt. They never committed to the Fiend. You know what I mean? It's like a gimmick, as outlandish as it can be, you can get over, but only if you commit to it. You know, if you don't commit to it, then it just fucking dies a death. Remember fucking, what was his name? Mordecai in like the mid-2000s. He was like the anti-Undertaker. It could have worked maybe if they committed to it, but they never did. And it was like, you know, and it's like, I don't know why Mordecai springs to mind, but it's like, you see, if you're going to do an outlandish gimmick, you really need to fucking commit. Like, otherwise it's just going to die.
I think that was where on WWE's fault. Like that, they come to that and say, that's too religious, we can't do this. And they just balled
it. He had the fucking cross and everything, didn't he? Like, the fucking weird,
I think, like Mordecai, fair play to him. He went all in the gimmick, but it's like WWE was like,
fair play, yeah.
They just balled it. It's like, we can't get away with this. It's too close to the line.
Aye. But you know, and it's like, you know, but like, just like I still like wrestling, but just I don't know, it just doesn't do it for the same again.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, I've watched very little. Like I think I watched the big 4 pay-per-views last year.
Yeah,
and I watched night 1 of WrestleMania this year, and that's all the WWE I've watched this year. And I catch like clips of Impact when fucking King Gallows and Anderson put it on the Twitter.
Oh yeah,
I'll catch clips of that. I've never said to like message brothers like, they're in Impact now. I watch Impact all the time now. I never have, because it's like
can someone though, like, you know, like I honestly think Impact's been doing some pretty damn good stuff lately. Like the bits I've caught here and there, they've been pretty good because like they've sort of flown under the radar a little bit, but they've been doing some pretty good stuff. Like
it's like the crossover stuff they do with AEW, and if they manage to do this, like this 3-way crossover with New Japan, I think it'll give WWE a bit of a scare. I think because you've seen it like WWE were trying to do this New Japan thing. They're trying to get this.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
I saw there's some fucking deal they were trying to make with New Japan because obviously they're shitting themselves if they go with Impact and they don't like. They keep saying again, it's like it's not really competition, but if there's the 3 of them together, you think that's it's got to make a dent.
Yeah, well, see, to me, like competition's healthy anyway. Like the more competition, the better everyone is. You know, like
just look at WWE since WCW folded. Like they've made competition for fucking 20 years at this point now. It's like,
see, what bothers me, like as a wrestling fan and stuff, right? I hate when people are like, you have to pick one or the other. I'm like, enjoy what you like, man. If you like WWE, you like WWE. That's cool. Like AEW, that's cool. You know, I don't understand this, like, fucking, if you like WWE, you must hate AEW. Or I'm just like, whatever. Fuck it. It's wrestling. Who cares? Like, you know what I mean? It's wrestling. Fuck it. But like WWE was awesome when it had competition because it stepped up its game. You know what I mean? And WCW was awesome when it had competition. You know, and it's like competition is good because if you're the only game in town, you get complacent. I mean, you get complacent, you get lazy, and then when you get lazy, shit starts maybe, you know, not being as good as it should be. So I'm all for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's like fair play to WWE. They tried doing the thing, give me the draft, the pitch for SmackDown, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a competition because it's still the same fucking company.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing, is it? It's like, yeah, it was great competition. Yeah, man, really, because it's just still WWE. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I mean, I got the concept, and it's a great concept when you think about it. Like, you know, hey, we'll compete. There's something, yeah, cool, I guess, but like, it's not the same as
it's like Archer Bean is like, at the end of the day, you're always the biggest show.
Yeah.
So if you're putting guys on SmackDown, they're got to try and match SmackDown look great, or they're like, fuck them, fucking SmackDown. What's the fucking point?
That's it. You know what I mean? That's like, say if Wrestlezone want a competition, and like we just split the roster. It's like, we've got competitions. Like, not really. We're all the same company. Who cares? You know what I mean? But no, like for me, like, what about you? Like, what sort of wrestling are you into as a fan? Like, you know, I like the Japanese sort of stuff. What about you? I know you're a big Raven guy.
Like, I was always a big I was always a big ECW guy. Like, yeah. Like, I grew, like when I first got into it, I was like the late 80s, early 90s WWF. Yeah. So it was all like Hogan's and fucking Warriors and Savages and kind of all these big, massive fucking characters. Aye. And then by the time I hit my teens, like ECW was around, and I stumbled across it on fucking, it wasn't even Sky, it was fucking cable at the time. Stumbled across that and I was like, holy fuck, this stuff's fucking mental. And it's got this name for being just this fucking promotion of just mad bastards not to fuck each other. Yeah, but there was some fucking good wrestlers. You had Jericho, you had fucking Malenko was there, fucking Scorpio Benoit was there. Scorpio. All these fucking decent guys. Guerrero, again, they were there doing this fucking shit. It was like, man. It wasn't just, but like you said, Raven, he was always my, like as soon as I saw him, I was like I was always a big Undertaker guy, even when he came in as a heel. He was always like, he beat Hogan. Like Hogan, if you find somebody that says didn't like Hogan, they're fucking lying, because everyone was a Hogan fan was a kid. Hogan, and then Taker come in, he was meant to be a heel, and he beat fucking Hogan. I was like, now that's cool as fuck. He's my guy now. Fuck Hogan. Aye, but like I said, up until ECW and I saw Raven, and I was like, this guy's, that's my guy now. Yeah. But ECW was always my stuff. ECW had some good fucking stuff, man. Just for the wrestlers, I think it's just for the variety of it, I think. Yes. Like WWF tried it with the hardcore division, but it wasn't quite the same. It's like I like wrestling when it's a bit of a variety show as well. Like I like when there's something like on a card for everyone. ECW was good at doing the variety. Like you'd have hardcore guys, you'd have flying guys, you'd have like wrestling guys. Like I was a big fucking TNA fan back in the day, like 2004, TNA was 2007. I was a big TNA guy because it was different, and I think as well, like I got in when I first got into wrestling, it was like WWE, because obviously like, for most folk that's their gateway to wrestling. WWE is the biggest one. That's wrestling. I like WWE, like I do, but like when I was in like my teenage years, I think as well, like when you're a teenager, you're always looking for something a bit more edgy, a bit different, a bit more, cool. TNA was that for me because it was different. You guys like AJ Styles and fucking, Amazing Red doing all these amazing things that you're like, holy balls, never seen that before. And then obviously as I got older and I started watching more like NWA and New Japan, it's amazing, like as you get older how your tastes change, and as a wrestler you sort of like mirror that a little bit as well. So yeah, but like I was a big TNA fan growing up. You know what I mean? Like. See, it's weird, right? I remember like when I first watched TNA, I thought it was fucking awesome, and I've rewatched some of like the 2005, like 2009 stuff. Some of it's really good. Some of it's as good you remember it being. Yeah, well, it's like I stuck on the Genesis 2007 pay-per-view, so I got it on DVD for my birthday, because like I collect. It's weird, right? I don't collect much things. I collect books and games, but I collect TNA DVDs. I don't collect WWE stuff because it's on the network. The TNA DVDs, for some reason, I just collect it, right? Just because I do, right? So for my birthday, I've got a quick tangent. I got like Genesis 07, I got Turning Point 2006, and I got like fucking Sacrifice 2010. Yeah, I collect the 2010 TNA shit. It's fucking awful, but I fucking collect it. Anyway, and I stuck on like the Genesis pay-per-view. Like I watched the Turning Point one first. I had like Angle Joe in the main event. It was really fun. And you're like Sabin and Daniels. It was a fucking great match as well. But anyway, I stuck on Genesis 07, and it opens with Black Rain versus Abyss in like a
little shop of horrors match, and I'm like, oh Christ. And like, it was mental, right? Because it was like the winner gets a key to this mystery box on the stage, and I'm like, all right, whatever, okay, I'm in for the ride now. And then like they pull out this board of fucking mouse traps and shit. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching, right? And then they fucking uncuff the fucking gimmick, the laws. Like, so Abyss wins the match. Like, gets the key, he'll get something. And he unfucks thing, and fucking Relic appears from the thing, sprays blood in his eyes and bars him, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? And then I'm like, oh my god, like this is awful. Like, what is this? And I was like, I remember, so I was a big fan of TNA at this point. Like, what the fuck have I just watched? But yet on the same show, you had like Kurt Angle and Nash versus Booker T and Sting, and I'm like, it's just weird, fucking weird, man.
Booker T was never great in TNA. Like, he's just...
You know what? He had, like, Booker T had one great match in TNA, and it was a debut match because he gave a shit. The rest was just him doing weird accents to try and get acting gigs.
Like, the funniest, or the best, or funniest thing I saw was the one he did when he came down and he was beating shit out of you, but he had the microphone. And he's just calling shit out as he's doing it. I'm fucking kicking you. I can't remember who it was he was beating up.
Yeah, like, I fucking love Booker T. But Booker T in TNA was...
it didn't work.
But I fucking love Booker T, so his WWE stuff, his WCW, I fucking love Booker T, I think he's great. But it's, yeah. You know what? So, when watching the early TNA stuff, or like the mid-2000s, Christian Cage was fucking awesome in TNA, man.
Aye.
I'm a big Christian Cage guy. Like, even, he's in my top 5 of all time. I fucking love Christian Cage. I think he's tremendous.
You like, a lot of folk at Ken Wrestling say that, though. You got, like, the shitty end of the stick in WWE.
Well, it's funny, right? When I first started watching wrestling, right, in like the early 2000s, whatever have you, Christian was like IC champion in like 2003, and I'm like, this guy's a fucking douchebag. I can't stand this cunt. Fuck you, right? But then as I got older and I started wrestling, like, oh, he's actually amazing. Like, I fucking love Christian Cage, and it just turned my around on him, and I'm like, he's fucking phenomenal. Like, he's so good. Like, I could gush about Chris. He's fucking awesome. Like, he's such a talented dude.
It's like everybody that Ken's wrestling can see that he's an awesome fucking worker.
He's fucking awesome, yeah, man.
So for whatever reason, fucking Vince didn't like him. He was like, he's just...
I know, yeah. It's like, he's fucking ace, yeah. But it's like, it's crazy. Like, Christian Cage at 47 in AEW is better than most guys in their 20s. It's mental. He's so fucking good. And I'm like, he's just the best. You know, like, I love Christian Cage. He's awesome. And I was like, because I'm a big Christian Cage fan. Remember when he returned at Revolution, and like they hyped a big surprise, it was Christian Cage. I fucking marked out. I was like, it's fucking awesome. And then online, everyone's disappointed. I'm like, why?
It's Christian.
He's like, it's fucking, he's ace. Like, he's fucking awesome. And everyone's like, oh, we thought it'd be CM Punk and Lesnar. I'm like, fucking seriously, like, come on, go settle.
CM.
It's never gonna be Brock Lesnar. It's never gonna be CM Punk. Like, fucking settle. If Punk was coming back, he would have came back in AEW in Chicago. He's never coming back.
Aye.
I mean,
at this point, he's fucking done.
He's fucking done. It's fucking awesome.
I never got the appeal of CM Punk, but it might have just been because I was not really watching when he got really fucking big. So,
we'll see, right?
I caught, like, when I got back into it, like on the tail end, just on his way out, and it was like, and I know, I was like, he's all right.
It's funny because I fucking loved CM Punk, but then, right, so Punk was in like Ring of Honor and like IWA Mid South and like all these like indie feds when I first like got into like indie wrestling.
Aye.
In like the mid 2000s. So I was a Punk guy anyway, and I thought he was fucking awesome anyway. And then when he did the fucking pipe bomb thing, like from 2011 onwards, I genuinely believe like in that time frame when he was like really like in the top of the, I genuinely think he was the best wrestler in the world. Like as an overall performer, I genuinely do. It's weird though, when I went and watched back some of the indie stuff, I still enjoyed it, but not to the level that I thought I would. It's weird. But no, I fucking like Punk's in my top 5 as well. Like, I fucking love CM Punk. He's dynamite on the mic. He was good in the ring. Yeah, man. Fucking love CM Punk.
He was just.
But yeah, but like it's weird, like how you say that. It's like you never got him, which is cool because there's a lot of folk that weren't like too high. But like for guys my age, it was like he was the fucking shit.
Aye.
When like I got it, like he was the fucking like him and AJ were like the two fucking and Danielson were like they were the guys like.
It's like hearing like guys like CM Punk's awesome. I was like, didn't see it.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's
like watching back, I can see he's good, but he just never Like you said, it might have been just because I didn't get it at the time.
That's it. Well, it's funny because there's guys now that people rave about, and I watch them. I'm not going to name them, but I'm like, I get it. I get they're good, but I personally, I'm like, they're okay.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? But I think it's just one of them things. Like when you're a wrestling fan, it's like it's about who catches fire when you're a fan, really. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Like, I think that's a big thing. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Aye, it's like you're saying. It's just, you need to be around at the time that these guys are getting bigger. Like if you watch it back, sometimes it just doesn't catch you the same.
Yeah, that's it. Is it like you need that like emotional? It goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's that emotional connection.
Aye.
And like on rewatch, you appreciate someone, but you like for instance, right? Like nowadays, I'm a big Ric Flair fan. Right? Nowadays, I am. But when I first got into wrestling, like Flair didn't do it for me because Flair was older, and I was young, and I was like, and everyone said he was the greatest, and I'm like, I don't get it. Because, like when I watched Flair, like we're talking like 2002 WWE run. So I'm like, I didn't get it. It's only after I started wrestling and watching this stuff in retrospect, I'm like, now I get it. Like, now I get he's the greatest of all time. See, I get it now.
I'm the same with Shawn Michaels. Like, I saw Shawn Michaels coming through when I was a kid. Like, he was in the Rockers and he came through. I was like, Shawn Michaels, I never liked him. And then you watch it back, it's like, he's fucking tremendous.
That's it. It's
as a kid, you're like, you never think of it. It's like, nah, I just don't like him.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Because fucking,
it was like
Hogan was your guy, Undertaker was my guy. I was like, nah, Shawn Michaels. And then you watch it back, it's like, holy fuck, he's good.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's like Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler of all time.
Aye.
But like I caught his second run because obviously I got in. So it's like I only got like more modern Michaels, and I think he's the greatest ever. And I love his like. It's weird though. Like I love his modern stuff. I think it's tremendous and it is better. But I'm a massive fan for like mid-90s dickhead Shawn Michaels. Like massive fan. I just think like it was. You know what it was? It was the style he wrestled. It was so exciting to me anyway. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And I think like a lot of times like when I watch wrestling now, it's sometimes that excitement's missing. Like that genuine excitement when you're watching a guy wrestle. It's like the way he moved and like the things he did. It was genuinely just jaw dropping. And it was like he didn't do like a million flips or anything, but it's how he presented it. You know, like I remember I was watching a match. That was incredible. He was on the top rope and does like a fucking backwards crossbody to the floor, and I'm like, that's fucking amazing. But like compared to like the stuff nowadays, it's nothing really. Like compared to like the shit you see now, but it's the way he presented it. And to me, anyway, is what made it exciting. It's the way they built it, and then they, you know what I mean?
Like a lot of the shit he did back in the day, it was our babyface shit he did. Because he was just a complete dick about it. I was like, I like it. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you know what? Guerrero was the same. Eddie Guerrero was the same. Like he did babyface shit. He was just such a cock.
Aye.
Fucking love Eddie.
But then he got over because he was so fucking entertaining with it.
When you can make me laugh, I can't boo you.
Aye.
Like when he did the shit with the belt, he threw it to the ref and they're like, lie down, and then just do like, oh, you've won me over then. Like, you know what I mean? Like if a wrestler makes me laugh, I can't hate them because they're funny. You know what I mean?
It's like our fucking like Alan Sterling. He's meant to be a
I
heel.
fucking love Alan. I love Alan.
Any match he's on, like Albie's watching the monitor because he's just fucking hilarious.
Like
he just cracks Albie up.
That's it. It's like he pops me. He just does. He's just funny. Like, and like don't get me wrong, I like comedy wrestling, but I only like comedy wrestling when it's done right. And only certain people. Like I personally, I couldn't do comedy wrestling because I'm not very funny.
Aye.
And I know that. Like I like if I try to do comedy, I'd die on my fucking arse. Alan Sterling is fucking hilarious anyway. Aye. So like when he does comedy wrestling, I watch it because I know I'll get fucking popped and it's funny as fuck.
It's just anything he fucking does, and it's like
I remember.
Like I said, every match he's had, like the monitor's always packed because the guys are just like, which guy do you know?
That's it. It's like I remember doing the vignettes for the mixed martial Allen. Oh my god, I was dying. Like it was so good because it's just like the great thing about Alan Sterling is he's so fucking hokey, but he embraces it with so much that it's just brilliant. Like
Aye.
Like, for instance, if I try to do that or you try to do that, it wouldn't be funny because it just wouldn't be. But he just gets it and he's just brilliant. He's just a funny, but he's a funny dude anyway. You know what I mean? So that's,
I missed the mixed martial arts shit, but
it was tremendous.
When I debuted, he was just getting into the Lord Alan Sterling, and it's like the shade did that. I was like, fucking tremendous. And like the shades they knew, like the captain.
Yeah.
Like,
the captain stuff's brilliant.
How Caleb keeps it together half the time is like, how the fuck did he do that? I'm gone.
It's when he walked in backstage and he's got his fucking t-shirt with just his face on it, and I popped. I was like, that's tremendous. Like,
the last match I had,
the
last match I had was against him at the academy show we did. That was the last match I had, and like at one point, like Mikkey's just breaking. Like the ref, and I was like, Mikkey, dinner, because I'm on the verge. Like he's beating the shit out of me, and he's doing all this funny. Like, Mikkey, can you just nay? Because I'm just there. I just need help.
That's it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fuck it. But you know what? Right, the thing is, like, I love wrestling Alan Sterling because he's a funny wrestler and he's really entertaining, but he's actually really good as well. Like, he's really good in the ring.
Well, I've said this before. Like, he comes across as
pick up on it.
He comes across as
so entertaining.
He comes across as buffoon.
Mm-hmm.
But like him and Damien were like the guys, and Archer were like the three guys that were always in the Sunday. So like they've got a lot to do with a lot of the training I had early on.
Yeah. Aye.
Like they were a lot of the guys that I picked a lot of shit off of.
Yeah.
Like maybe stuff I use now, but like he is a knowledgeable guy and he knows what the fuck he's doing.
God, Alan knows his stuff. Yeah, man, he does. And I think it's one of those things like Alan, because of the style he wrestles and stuff, I don't think people give him the credit he deserves, to be honest. He's really fucking knowledgeable. Like, there was one time I was putting a match together and something wasn't clicking, and Alan just popped up with this fucking, I can't remember exactly what it was. He just popped up with this like fucking nugget, and I was like, holy shit, why the fuck didn't I think of that? You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, and I'm the guy that does all this fucking stupid shit in his matches and the fucking, you know, the high fucking work rate, whatever the fuck that means. And I didn't fucking think of it. And I was just like, yeah, just do this. I'm like, you're a genius. Like, yeah.
Like I said, he comes across as buffoon, but he can exactly what he's fucking doing.
Oh, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, like, you know what, right? Dave P doesn't get enough credit. I fucking love wrestling Dave P. Like, I fucking love it.
Dave P
is so good.
Dave P's watched enough old wrestling that he knows exactly how to do it smart.
That's it. But the thing with Dave P, he's great at what he does.
Aye.
Like, he is. He's tremendous. He's a tremendous baby face. Crowd, like, what I love about wrestling Dave P, right, is like sometimes you'll wrestle guys and they're not, like, there can be really good wrestlers, but they're not the best at getting like those emotional reactions. Dave always, you've seen it, I'm sure, he always gets those.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows how to get it, right? So whenever I wrestle Dave P, it's like, I've got a night off because I don't even do anything because they're with him, so they hate me automatically. And when you can get that as a heel or whatever, it just makes life so much fucking easier. You know what I mean? Like, I've wrestled guys where I've had to do so much fucking character work that I end up becoming a babyface. It's weird. But Dave P's just he's easy. He's fucking great. And like Dave P doesn't do like a million and one flashy shit, but he's really good at what he does.
He doesn't need to, though. That's the thing.
That's it.
Like he can't out get the reactions, so he doesn't need to do this flashy shit.
Well, it's like, I hate this mentality of wrestling's only good if you do like a million and one moves, right? And like, you know, I do a lot in my matches, as you'll look at, as you know, I do a lot, right? Maybe more than I need to, right? But I never have the mentality of like, only my way is correct. There's lots of right ways to do wrestling. There's lots of good ways to do wrestling. 2 secs. My baby girl is here and she's moaning. 2 secs. But yeah, there's lots of right ways to do wrestling, and Dave's fucking great at what he does.
Aye.
And it's like, the way I see it, a great match is anything where you get a great reaction. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what you do. If the crowd's into it, then fuck it, you've done a good job.
Aye.
You know what I mean? And that's the way I view it.
It's subjective, but at the end of the day, if you're not popping the crowd, then you're doing it wrong.
That's it. You know what I mean?
You could have the best fucking match and a million fucking near falls and kick outs and whatever.
Yeah.
But if the crowd aren't biting for it, it's shite.
Yeah, that's it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I've had matches before where I was like, we'll do all this amazing stuff and it'll be awesome. The crowd will be showing it, and they just fucking
Aye.
been on their hands, and I'm like, oh man. And it doesn't matter if it was a good like match technically. If the crowd aren't into it, then you've not had a great match. Simple
Aye,
as.
that's it.
I mean,
like at the end of the day, it's, if they're not got to come back and see it again because they've thought it was shit, then
yeah, then you fucked it.
aye, basically.
You know what I mean? But that's just what I've learned over time. You know what I mean? And that's just like, you know, it's weird how like as you get older, like maybe certain things change, and the longer you do it, your opinion changes and your attitude changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, like, and I think like what makes a great wrestler is like versatility. To be honest, like being able to work lots of different ways, lots of different. That's what makes a great wrestler. You know what I mean? Like. You look at the best; they've all been versatile. Like Steve Austin's fucking awesome. He could do technical wrestling, he could do brawling, he could do comedy.
Yeah.
That's why he was great, because he was versatile. You know.
Aye, could
Kurt
do
Angle. Kurt. Right. If Kurt Angle, who was like a legit like wrestling Olympian and a badass and like whatever the fuck, if he can wear a stupid cowboy hat and get it over, then you know that's a good pro wrestler. Do you know what I mean? Like,
aye, come down a truck and spray Addy with milk and aye.
Yeah,
like it shouldn't make sense,
But he made it work, and that's what made him great. You know what I mean? I fucking love Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's just great.
Aye. Like he's fucking tremendous. Like he's
Kurt Angle in his day had no one could fucking touch him, to be honest. Like legit, like he was fucking awesome. I remember watching a match. It was him and Rey Mysterio, and it's like he's outpacing Rey Mysterio. Like, what the fuck? Like he's outquickening Rey Mysterio. Like how the fuck is that a thing? It's like Kurt Angle is blowing up Rey Mysterio. What the fuck?
I was like, you hear guys speaking about him when he first came in. I was like, I've never seen a guy have got it as quick as he ever did.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not just. And I feel like when guys say that, like sometimes you mean the in ring. I mean, I see it as everything. Like he's got everything: the showmanship, the promos, the performance, the killer matches. He's a phenomenon. And knowing like. You know what's crazy? Like in retrospect, like you know when you hear like the fucking shape he was in, like how beat up he was, it's even more impressive. You know what I mean? I'm like, how the fuck, man? He's just a machine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Imagine pissing off Kurt Angle. Holy fuck.
Aye.
That'd be scary.
Nah.
Nah,
you're all right. Just sorry.
So I can't think because I'm so sorry, Mr. Angle.
It's like the story with fucking Eddie for his piss. Was it Brock? He tried to double leg.
It's like
somebody said to him afterwards, "What are you doing?" He's like,
I've hugged it. Again, it's like I'm gonna outshoot an Olympic champion. Aye, very good.
I say aye. Two-time NCAA champion and fucking
two-time NCAA champion. And,
like, what you
doing? Brock's a bad dude. Like man, Brock's a bad dude.
Like I get you got yourself and fucking get your at this point you're obviously on.
All right, but come on, come on.
It's still Brock at this point.
I know it's like Brock who's like 6'3" and like 200 like whatever pounds. Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah,
that's bad juju.
Just maybe dinner.
Like maybe just calm yourself a bit.
Just walk away. Just be the bigger man.
Be the bigger man and just walk the fuck away. But yeah, man. So that was a wrestling tangent about bullshit.
It was. But I think we've gone almost 2 hours now.
Oh fuck.
So we'll get to wrapping this up. But before we do, like I mentioned before we start recording, I've got a question that I asked everybody because it's the Mosh Pit. It's a music-based question, and I don't get how big into music you are, but we'll find out in a minute. So, like, as wrestlers, we like to book our dream matches or dream cars or whatever.
Yep.
So, is the Mosh Pit that we're booking our dream gigs?
Okay.
So you can hit any 3 bands, fucking alive or dead, broken up, or fucking any era. You can get this can make as much or as little sense as you want. But
it's going to make probably fuck all sense, to be honest, because
you've got an opener, a mid card, and a headliner.
Okay, so my opener would be Linkin Park, because I'm a big Linkin Park fan. Because obviously, when I grew up, they were the fucking shit. So I've just sort of like maintained that fandom forever. My mid card would be AC/DC,
Right, I can go with that.
And my headliner, this might, I don't know how much this is. My headliner would be Queen, because I fucking love Queen.
Yeah, I
fucking love Queen. They are my favourite band of all time, so that would be my headliner.
That's something I've learned today.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have pegged Zach Dynamite as a Queen fan, but there we go.
No, that's the thing. Like I figure AC/DC, yeah, that's a given, maybe.
Yeah.
But like Queen, I just like what it is like, so with Queen, right? My mum used to listen to a lot of Queen, so did my dad.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I just didn't get it. I didn't like them. I was like, this is shit. What is this? Because I used to be into rap when I was a kid, and I've sort of grown out of that. But like, as a kid, like Eminem was huge, so fucking loved Eminem. Yeah. But like, I grew out of that. And then when I hit my teenage years, my dad was listening to Queen. So I just sat down and I was like, you know what? They're actually phenomenal. And then he showed me the video. If you had the DVD, it's when they play Wembley.
Like the Live Aid.
And I saw Freddie Mercury on stage, and I'm like, this guy is phenomenal. Like, he's phenomenal. Like, just his aura, his presence, his singing. So, and then ever since then, I was fixed on Queen. And it's funny, like, as a kid, I hated him. Like, I hated Freddie, I hated the band. And then as a teen, when he showed me, I'm like, oh my God, I just didn't get it. And yeah, they're my favorite band of all time. Because, like, so it's weird, like I'm not a big music guy, but like music for like working out or like, you know, like mainly for working out.
Yeah.
But with Queen, it's like, I've always considered it easy listening. No matter what mood I'm in, I can just stick it on and just enjoy it and just, you know. And obviously, like, being as busy I am, I like kind of more mellow stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah.
Saying that, you're speaking about like wrestlers being versatile. Queen could be like, they've got all sorts of shit. They've got the melody stuff, they've got the fucking hard rock stuff, they've got the fucking big epic fucking shit.
The thing is, like, when you look at like the history of Queen, like they've been versatile in their looks, their songs, their videos. Like, yeah, man, they were just sort of a bit of everything, and So yeah, that would be my dream. That would be my dream gig. You know what I mean?
So yeah.
Maybe that was a surprise. I don't know.
It is. Yeah.
You know, it's long-haired, leather jacket, clad Zach Dynamite. This is the Queen. Fuck it.
It's still infinite better than fucking Connor's choices in the last scene. So yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking Connor fucked it. Like,
just fucked it.
Yeah, that's it. He just fucked it. He's a young loon.
Yes, he'll learn maybe.
We'll see. Like right. I don't know if it's just me, but modern music just generally just doesn't do it for me in the slightest, because it's just shout.
Aye.
It's generalising, but a lot of it I don't get it.
It's
whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just pish. Like, whenever I go to fucking Pure Gym and they're playing modern pish, I'm like, this is just shout.
Just
bad.
Lewis Capaldi's like, go on fuck.
Yeah, it's like, and like for me, it's like when you look at like bands like Metallica or like AC/DC or Queen, it's like their shit will be played forever, like for eternity.
Aye.
Because it's classic and it's awesome. Fucking folk like Ed Sheeran, like Lewis Capaldi, like, you know, like once they're like, people will remember them. I'm betting not many people. You know what I mean?
It'll be a couple of years till the next thing comes around, and it'll be fucking repeat and recycle, and But that's
it, you know what I mean? And it's just,
that's just the old cynical bastard in me.
Yeah, but like the thing is though, with modern music, it's all just the same shit generally. Like every song is like just shite. It's just the same. It's not for me. Like, you know.
But yeah,
Ryan Riley will probably barter me for saying that.
Yeah, aye.
You know what I mean?
Saying that, his choices weren't too bad. I could agree with some of his choices, but yeah,
that's all right then. So yeah,
like I said, just Connor's fucked it.
Fucking Connor, I'll just forearm him when I see him. Fucking fucked it, piece of shit.
But yeah, but with that, I think it's time to shut this shit down. We've still got a lot of shit having to cover, so we can come back and do this again.
Yeah, we'll do part two, no problem. You know, like just like workshops. Yeah, part two, no bother.
The part two, electric boogaloo.
Sounds good to me, brother.
But yeah, hopefully we'll maybe be back at shows or fucking at least contact training before then, and we can get back to forearm each other. But doing this podcast, it gave me a good excuse to bust out this bad boy. It's been a while. You know? I've been nursing this bottle for like 2 years. Because I'm not much of a drinker, so I was like, oh, fuck it. I had to brush fucking cobwebs off it this morning. I was like, fucking hell. Throw out the fucking thing and like, Jesus. But with that, thanks to my guest, Zach Dynamite, for coming on.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Having a drink for school night.
I know I need to get kids up for school tomorrow. I'm going to be fucked.
Yeah, good luck with that. Saying I'm in the same boat. It's all right. It's only 10:30. It's fine.
Yeah, that's well.
But yeah, thanks to Zach Dynamite, and we'll be back with me on this nonsense next time.
Cool. Thank you for having me. See you later.